of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters. These heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl, Josh, and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of Tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
Hello, friends. Welcome. How are you?
Hi there.
I'm going to talk like this the rest of the episode.
Very interesting. It's a very interesting accent.
I don't do accents.
I don't.
What
I don't have
is
the vocal range.
It's just not in me, guys. It's not in me.
Hello,
What's up, man?
friends. What's going on, Hawk? Welcome, everyone, to a new Tokudon. We are going to be talking some Dogengers today, and you may be noticing we have an extra individual here. I can't tell. This over here. Boom. There
Somewhere.
we go. You're on that side of the screen. Had to figure it out. Would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
My name is Mark. CFO of the Blade Gang.
It's true.
And yeah, I'm quite the.
All right,
a little bit of a
so
Toku
that was it from Mark. So good. Thanks for coming on. It was great, man.
Blade.
Oh
All
my
right.
god, you guys already, it's gonna be a long day.
Yo.
I'm sure one of your favorite Kamen Rider seasons I'm a fan of as well, as long as it doesn't
absolutely.
begin with a G and end in I'm sure.
It begins with a G and ends with a Godgame. So you're good.
That works for me. That works for me.
So, fruit
That must be a
trash.
V
Got
cinema.
it.
That's supposed to be a V cinema I didn't hear about.
Oh my goodness. What have you
I
guys
want to go on
been
the
up
record.
to?
I watch Gaim. I don't hate it. I do not apologize for my tweets, though.
I will respect your tweets as long as I'm able to indulge myself today in the blade discussion, please. And then we'll call it even.
You're not allowed to, because it's Blade. It's perfect. So
Perfect. Okay. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I just powered through Dogengers.
yeah,
and I loved every second.
We brought Mark on specifically to bully Rob today.
Yeah.
So that we can have numbers.
I thought we weren't going to like openly admit that.
No, that's exactly what.
I thought that was a sneaky DM. We're gonna.
These guys are like plotting against me already, and I didn't even do anything other than not like Blade.
Listen, Rob. I have a secret to tell you. I made an internal promise that when I hit 1,000 YouTuber subscribers,
Cool.
just to be that guy, I will send Carl a Gaim DX driver.
Oh my god, thank you.
Dang.
That's perfect.
Dang.
Please.
So, okay, what happened was I found a Gaim pillow when I was out shopping at Book Off Factory Seal that I was like, this is a really comfortable pillow. But I don't like it because it's a lock seat on one side and Gaim on the other side. I was like, ugh. And I was like,
Whatever.
I want to do something funny and trolling the people. And then I was just like, I could say Carl Gaim driver because everyone else like seems to just like every Toku.
Yeah.
And even though like Carl doesn't hate it, I'm just like that would still be like one of those things where it's like he's not going to destroy it.
No,
He's not going to display it.
It's
fully,
gonna
but
be.
he's cool.
He's gonna. What it's gonna be? He'll keep it tucked behind him throughout all the episodes, just kind of close. It's like this is comfortable though. Fuck you guys.
You know what's gonna happen every time we talk about Gaim in general? It's you just hear Yomotsu Heiguri.
Yom.
Michi did nothing wrong, so it's fine.
I mean, poor Michi.
It is. Also, Hawk is hanging out in the chat. He says,
"What's up, bro?"
He's here for the Rob gang, so you're not alone,
Bro,
Rob.
I know, man. Straight up. Thanks, Hawk. Dude, it's not fair. But bring it. Wait, what does it go? Koyo.
Oh my goodness. What have you guys been up to?
Other than Dogengers and writing the first episode of our Tokudon, Kamen Rider Tokudon. That's it, man. Things are coming along great.
Okay. Mark, yourself? What have you been up to?
I've been working, and then I was in a quarantine, and then a new Pokemon game came out, and then the 01 Blu-ray has been bestowed upon all of us. I tried to get my lady into it. I was like, let's watch this on Blu-ray. It's going to be good. Nice subtitles. Because she doesn't like subtitles. She made it 15 minutes into episode 1.
What?
Out cold. She's like, and I'm like, you know what? Like, so between Dogengers and 01 and Pokemon, like, I don't know how I have free time anymore.
Who's your starter?
Oh, I picked Oshawott. Like, come on now, water all day.
Oshawott? Okay, respectable. Yeah, respectable choice.
And
dig that.
even though he's not even on my team anymore, once I got a shiny Ponytail,
so I
was like,
nice.
Okay,
yeah,
trash now. He needs to go away. I got a Magikarp. I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a Gyarados. That's obviously my water type for my team. Like, sorry, weird otter thing.
Otter samurai.
Just a lot of Toku stuff. Like, just. I don't know why January has been such a big like month for Toku in merch, because it's not even tax season yet for me. So
yeah, we'll get there.
Because I got the Tamagotchis in the mail.
Yeah,
which I got Blade on the first try.
There you go.
And then he died.
Oh,
and then I got Forza, and I was like, oh, okay.
So how does the Tamagotchi work? How does it even, like, are you feeding him pellets?
So
like
tiny.
Does Blade eat respect?
Feed him curry. Curry and I believe boba tea.
That's awesome.
And then the training is running and motorcycle riding.
Okay.
And then randomly shockers will attack you, and you just hit one button and you attack them, and that's it.
It's a rider kick right away.
It is. It's a rider kick.
It's how every show should actually be. Just 2 minutes long. Just rider kick it. What are you doing?
There's a rider kick and a rider punch, and that's it. And it's like, oh, this is simple. This is cool.
There you go. That's all you need, honestly.
Okay.
It's easier than the Vital Bracelet. That's too much work.
That's a whole thing. You have to do the work. That's insane. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
my Pulsemon hasn't evolved past its champion form in several months.
Pulsemon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
That's the new one for the Vita bracelets.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's cool.
Yeah, the Vital Bracelet fizzled out for me, because once I got Omegamon, I was like, I'm done. I'm retired.
Hawk says the Tamagotchis look way better than the Vita bracelets anyway. So
100% Hawk. Like, so much better.
I dig it. I have been continuing my adventures in Ultraman Trigger. It's fun. I dig it. It's usually what I watch on the elliptical, which I actually have a funny story. We were at the gym the other night. And I had this. Yeah, I know. That's the joke.
I was laughing.
Oh my goodness! What a dick! What a dick!
Great. You got time for another?
Yeah, you asshole. And my full giant 72-ounce water bottle fell on the elliptical and shattered. Water went everywhere. So I like walk a shame it up to the front desk, right? And I'm like, hey, do you guys have like a mop or a roll of paper towels or something, so I didn't have to sit there and press the stupid paper towel dispenser? He's like, no, just use the same ones you wipe the equipment down with. I was like,
really?
Okay.
I'll just be here for the next hour.
Of my 35-minute cardio, roughly 30 of that was spent cleaning up this water as I walk over, dispense 100 paper towels, and then just grab it and then soak it up. Because there's a shit ton of water, it just immediately is soaked, so I gotta walk back.
Was it the good paper towels too, or was it the kind that just pushes the water?
Yeah, no, it was the shitty brown ones.
Moral of the story is cardio, not a good workout.
Clearly,
choice.
I just should never do cardio. That's
all about weight. It's all about weights.
That's all it is. I need to embrace my big anime man energy, so I just need to pick stuff up and put it down. So,
hey man, Zangief, channel Zangief.
Exactly. I'm just speaking of Zangief. I finally got my actual grappler hero in Dogengers, which we can talk about.
Let's get into it.
Oh my goodness, that's really all I had going on. There was not a whole lot going on this week.
No, this is how we do it, man. That's
a transition.
Tie it back in. Good shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, so the Dogengers was amazing to me. How about y'all?
I want to be a city hero. Like, I researched after. I didn't know this was a real thing. Like, these are like, and then like I thought they were original OCs for the show. I didn't know these were city heroes that have Twitter accounts.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And they have like, and you could see the evolution of their suits before the show, like how they were just city heroes. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of like if this was in America, it would be like different corporate like companies having their own mascot that just have to be heroes or villains.
Yeah.
But they're real people. Now I'm like, I want to be a city hero. Like
Legit.
I need to get on that.
Right. And I don't know if there's all kinds of this kind of stuff too, just like local superheroes, people dressed up going out and fighting crime when they probably shouldn't. But like the fact that these are actual real people is amazing because they are amazing heroes.
Yeah.
Don't know. I really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to, because right out the gate I was like, oh, here we go, another grating kind of parody show, and who knows how
it had the heavy vibes of that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how long is it going to keep my attention. And then my boy El Brave showed up. El Brave literally kept me invested in this show. He is so freaking cool.
Every time he came up, I was like, that's obviously Carl's spirit rider. So I'm like, this, I definitely know he's gonna vibe with him the most. That's awesome. Yep. And he's such a dynamic character in every scene. He chews up every scene he's in. Like,
I mean, he's the loudest, so that kind of happens.
Yeah, he's got the Vegeta syndrome going on, but it's like, it's absolutely dope to see that, to know that this is a guy in his garage who came up with this design and this character and embodies it completely. And I love everything about every one of these characters is so different, but so it brings so much richness in their own.
Yeah, because
I'm like so enthralled at that aspect. Like, dude, you just like, seriously, I could do this too. I could do this too. I'm doing this too. Like, and excuse me. I know El Brave was yours. My favorite, Kita Man. I couldn't.
Kita Man.
That's what I was gonna say.
Kita Man. I couldn't help it. I'm like, bro, that's total me right there, just chilling, like
taking selfies with girls, and then he's just like, his finishing attack. Let me call my brother real quick.
Let me hold on. I'm
like, hold on a second. Yeah, finisher attack.
I love it, man.
If that's not the biggest Rob energy, I don't know what is. I don't know. Let me just call my brother. I'm not dealing with this.
I'm like, what is this? You know what? Hang on. I got somebody for this. Give me a sec.
Oh, man.
And he had a pretty good transformation. For like the budget of that show, his transformation was pretty cool. Like, I was like, okay.
His full suit was dope. There was a moment. I know I was like taking notes at the same time, but like I remember towards the final episodes, he was suddenly red for a minute when he powered up, and I was like, when did that happen? And I went and rewound, and I'm like, he got a semi-power.
Yeah.
Fuck, and I'm like going back. Yeah. Like, but it happened like that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Before we get too far into like the plots and stuff like that, let's just kind of go through, because we're throwing a lot of names around that people may not understand either. Let me read the little blurb here that we found on the series. So, and there's also going to be spoilers. I should mention there's obviously going to be spoilers.
Super spoilers ahead.
Yeah. In many regions of Japan, there are superheroes who are referred to as local heroes. Their job is to represent a particular prefecture or city to protect it from evil forces. One such prefecture is Fukuoka, home to many unique heroes. Fukuoka Caliber, who took his job very seriously. Kita Man, who doesn't want to fight because his suit is too stiff, in big air quotes, preferring to run at the first sight of danger. Heavenly hero El Brave, a fiery pro wrestling hero with a height complex, who is my boy. Yamashiron, a soft-spoken mascot of the Yamashiro Gas Company from Saga Prefecture, who happens to be a fusion of 3 people. And lastly, Oga Man, a pharmacist superhero who solves the leftover antibiotics problem rampant in Fukuoka. And his catchphrase is, take your medicine and sleep.
Middle. He's like the Superman, and he's
literally Ichigo.
Yeah, every time he was on screen, it was like, wow, that's incredible. Why don't you just fix the whole problem, bro? Oh, because he's got Kuga vibes where he would just break everything if he wanted to.
He's
like, oh,
he definitely to the point that he's Ichigo, where he says toe at the end when he does his super attacks. Let's clarify that
the whole point of this show is because he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So because Superman can't fix the problem because it would break the world if he tried, that's why we have this entire show.
Yep. So that's our breakdown of our main heroes here, and they all have very cool suits, I gotta say. Like, they all have a different vibe. They're very unique feeling, but they are all fantastic.
Yes. And to know that
they could be easily recreated too. Like,
I
feel like with enough, like, if you're crafty enough and have enough time, like, these would be easy to cosplay as.
Yeah, definitely.
I only know because I've already done my research. I was like, could I be Q-Man? Mm-hmm.
Q-Man.
And Yabai Kamen, because that helmet
Yabai
with
Kamen,
the LED freaking. I was like, how do I put LEDs in a mask? Do I need to buy the Creative 3 3D printer? I was like, probably.
I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine it's to make it that quality. You're gonna need to bank, bro. But about the design, of them all, Yabai Kamen. The second I saw it, the only thing that it clicked was the like the Kingdom Hearts armors. That specific helmet design. Yeah. Every time I saw it, it popped in my head, and I was like, I dig the design a lot, but I can't break that correlation at all. But the LED effect took it to a different level. I love the LED effect on it because they utilized it to do a lot of his expressions in the show, and it's so dope that it was only like one or two different shapes, and it was like circles or X's, and it was perfectly timed every time.
Worked. That's the thing about anything with helmets is like you have to go by tone of voice and body language. So that kind of like just like an accent mark on, and also I don't know, in recent years something about black and purple on a suit has been just like the chef's kiss for me lately. I'm just like, oh, you're gonna put purple.
It's your dark brooding nature, bro. It's your brooding.
It is.
Nature.
It really is.
Yeah,
my old bitter likeness, my old man Logan style. I'm just like, just dark colors, purple. Ooh.
I love it. Yeah, dude. That's so. Yabai Kamen is the main bad guy. Just for reference for our listeners, if you're not familiar with the show. But yeah, now that you mentioned the Kingdom Hearts armor, it does very much look like Terra's armor, and I can't unsee it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, now I can't unsee it. But yeah, the LED eyes were so cool. What did you guys think of his like super power up form? His like Command X mission kind of thing going on.
It looked like the X8 Drago thing. Like, I mean, the X8 assault that Snipe has, that big, just ginormous guns for no reason. I don't know. It was like, okay, cool, nice.
now I can't unsee that reference.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks.
To me,
we just started ruining.
Yeah, to me, it looked like X's ultimate form in Command Mission X. Like that thing. Have you guys ever seen that thing? No. It is verbatim like that thing, and he just gets these crazy guns, and I don't know how else to describe it. I'll have to put a picture in the Discord here so you guys can see as well. Yeah, that thing was sick. I really liked it. And so, go ahead.
I have a question. Given that these people are the ones who designed the suits, were they also like doing the stunts and everything? Because it looked like the El Brave was El Brave the entire time. And if that's the case, these rookies, so to speak, these not official riders, they're very convincing and very well trained in you know, like you were saying earlier about how it's all expressive and all that stuff. It didn't feel amateur at all.
No,
for being a low budget thing. Like it felt so good to watch this show, convinced that these people were in it and believed it and had passion, and it was so dope. And let me see what you did here.
But yeah, no, the choreography itself, like especially with Tanaka, is that his name, the main kid?
Yeah, Tanaka.
Tanaka going from like literally nothing to like it kind of being a hero by the end of the show was such a cool like choreographed journey. Like in the beginning, he like is literally standing around and, like I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
like he can't even pull his weapon out. Like that's kind of the whole point. He meets all these characters and they all help him like draw out his full powers. And like, but he just doesn't know what to do, and he doesn't even know to like pull his mask down and stuff like that. It's not like he just henshins and turns into like a badass. He literally it's Ryotaro in Den-O cranked to 11 to where he's literally just standing there like I have a cool suit, this is great.
I really dig.
Like my favorite was like not knowing the finishing attack To the finishing attack. He's like, no, you got to pose like this, and then it like kind of slows down. He rolls in with the camera, takes the photo, and I'm like, is he taking a photo of the final? And
I was waiting for it to come out and be like, is this time stop ability? Is that why he's just like doesn't want to fight? He's just super broken.
No, it's the perfect moment.
And I'm like, okay, this is because let's face it, a lot of not even just Toku in general shows don't really show how people would honestly react to certain situations. If we're all like in a Sentai team and you guys are doing some cool moves, but I'm got nothing really like important going on, I'll be like, hey guys, hold on 1 second. Like, boom, let me like, oh, that's good. I'm gonna load this up in Premiere later on, cut it up, make it like a freaking full music video for you. We're gonna promote you with it. Like, that was a good move you did. Like, let's show it back. Like, see, this is where you can improve. It's like,
if you shift your right leg, it's more stable.
I was like, you're putting too much weight on your back leg. Like, you gotta just.
Could you do the finisher again? I didn't get it. You know,
right?
The camera was facing the wrong way.
Can you unblow him up, please?
Like, let's say you got time abilities, right? Can you rewind it? Let me move a bit over here.
How miserable would it be if you were the monster that just got blown up and then just reformed?
oh my god!
That brings into effect if you rewind time. Are you aware of the time that already happened? And that's just a whole rabbit hole of a headache, and I'll have to bring the whiteboard out. And
this is why I hate time. I hate when you play with time because it's so sticky. But
it's a crutch. It's a crutch in stories. I've been saying it for years, which is why a lot of MCU fans are mad at me and a lot of DC fans, because I'm like, it's lazy writing. Star Trek did it, and ever since then, everyone thinks it's some groundbreaking science fiction, and I'm like, you just can't understand. Like, you can't explain your plot holes. You wrote yourself into a corner.
Right, Christopher Nolan? You shithead. Get fucking started on Christopher Nolan. Talking about, you guys liked all my movies, right? There's all my movies. Smell my shit.
I saw Dunkirk and what was it, the 488 millimeter or whatever, like in theaters, like the good, and that was just breathtaking. And I don't even like movies like that. And I was like, this looks so good.
It's pretty.
Like, I still hate you. Like my most biggest enemy could like bring me like, you know, donuts, and I'm still gonna be like, oh, thank you, but thanks, like the second I kill you, but like, thank you for the donuts.
Oh my goodness. I have no opinion on Christopher Nolan whatsoever. They're fine, I guess. Whatever. Inception's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, of course I don't give
that's
the
shits.
Problem.
Batman is overrated, but that's just a general feeling on Batman, so whatever. You know, but that's a whole other podcast and conversation. We're not going to go there.
I'm just like, he's not lying.
That's what I do. I bring the hard truth that no one wants to admit, and I'm right always.
But speaking of directors, Carl, to refer to your notes, am I right in that this is directed by the same director of Tokusatsu Gagaga or whatever?
I honestly have no idea.
It is the same from Tokusatsu Gagaga.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's cool. I have not seen Tokusatsu Gagaga, but that is definitely on the that'll be my shout out for the week. How about that? Because I heard that show's
there's a place where it will be probably by the end of tonight.
Okay, there you go.
Because I had it before and I watched it, and then I was like, oh yeah, it is. Because I was doing some research. I was like, this is the same director. I was like, where is my file of this? And I was like, why is it gone? What? And I was like, maybe it's not gone. So I was like, I will obtain a new file.
Tokusatsu Gagaga is a similar kind of like parody show, right?
Yeah.
Self-aware, yeah. At least meta.
Yeah, it's very meta. References. Yeah, it's like this female who wasn't allowed to watch Tokusatsu as a kid, fell in love with it, then like was just like had the awakening, and her friends like, oh, you'll like this and that, and then it's just like,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
that's what happened to me.
Yeah,
with your Kool-Aid.
Yep. Welcome to the Kool-Aid factory.
Amen.
Yeah, Dogengers. The Society of Darkness, though.
They're awesome. They're like Team Rocket if they were a little less efficient.
So I love the Society of Darkness. I think they're hilarious.
But then it's a real thing too. Is also like everything in this is a real thing.
Yeah, it's really. It's so just like the local heroes, like they're a real thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This is what bothers me so much because I'm like, why is it so cool there? Why do I live here when I could be a sick hero? When I could be doing all these cool things? I was like, but then I looked at like the average square footing of like an apartment there, and I was like, ooh,
yeah, nope.
This is about it right here.
Yeah, you get your office, and that's about it.
I got a lot of merch, and that's not gonna work for me.
You could sleep on it. No, but like, so I didn't know. Like, so even the lackeys are their own little things, or they're for the show.
I don't know the full extent because I haven't gone down that rabbit hole.
That puppet started.
My
favorite
puppet
aspect of the villains is the puppet. The fact that they just were like at some point, so they marionetted it convincingly, and I think it was even CG at first, right?
What?
And
puppet?
then it was
always like it was always conveniently hidden on something so a hand could get in there.
So then it was that they did it better in the beginning, and then as the show went on, they just gave less of a shit about if you saw the arm, and then by the end of it, it's straight up just the dude in the suit.
That was my favorite part, because I was just like, oh, what is this? Because there's almost like a continuity of laziness, but I think it was done on purpose.
Yeah,
and that's
It absolutely was.
I was kind of like when people put like boom mics in the frame on purpose or like this and that, like kind of like an Easter egg thing. But when it was just a dude in the suit matching it and the little bottom part of it's just hanging from his chin, I'm like, this is my favorite thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, everyone should watch this. Yeah. Like, this is a great show.
The fact that they were like, so it's just the bad guy now. Like, they're just like, so that's the real form of the bad guy. Okay. Like, we were just dicking with you guys.
That character's name is Usagi, by the way. Usagi. It is a small stuffed rabbit with a like larger head and a little itty bitty body that is quite literally a puppet. And like we were saying, they have it conveniently placed on like behind a bunch of boxes that like wouldn't normally be stacked in a certain way, but like a human could clearly be behind it.
Yeah.
And then once we get to El Brave, my boy, his episode, you find out that Usagi can just like, I don't know, did they even say if it's like possessing one of the little trooper putty dudes, or is it just like
that's its real form. That's its real body.
That's just how it is.
That's just okay. And it's super tall. Canon. And the whole point is El Brave is really short and feels inferior because the true measure of a man is his height, apparently. And so this little stuffed rabbit, it's literally like a helmet with a body hanging off it, like a little. That's literally what it is.
Ever.
It is the most amazing, and the episode of El Brave was incredible. Like the way that it plays out, they actually legitimately have a wrestling match made of the goons. The ring is made of the goons just holding hands, and they wrestle in the middle of it, and it is amazing.
It's so good. El Brave is amazing. El Brave made this show. The show should have been called El Brave, but that's just me.
No, it should have been Kita Q Man featuring El Brave. No. Let's establish that Kita Q Man was the reason that he discovered the visor helmet ability. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had no Hisats. Thanks. Wait for Kita Q.
Rob just logs off.
I'll say you buy Kamen in the Kita Qs.
There you go.
I didn't quite understand this whole thing. Maybe you guys can help me. The ruffians weren't they with the villains, and then were they working with Kita Q Man?
No, the other way around. Time? No, the other way around. Kita Q Man didn't want to fight, so he joined the ruffians.
Yeah, he joined them. Okay,
yeah. He doesn't want to fight. No, he will do anything to not.
Oh, I love it.
Engage in combat. And I feel like even though he says the suit is stiff, I feel like honestly it's because the suit he doesn't want to get any dirt. The selfies
he doesn't want to scratch it.
Pristine.
Yep,
it's got to stay pristine.
He took a shot and he was like, "Hey, you're gonna scratch this suit, man." Like,
that's not gonna happen. Like,
it is a nice suit, to be fair.
It is.
It's gorgeous.
All the suits, especially once I started researching and seeing like what the suits started as outside of the show, and then how they evolved it over the years to starting to film the show. I was like, then they look good.
I've only seen the one that they featured in the show. I didn't know there were other forms like that.
Well, they're all like similar how they look, but just lower quality material before they actually had some money to kind of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's
that's
definitely
so kind of like the Fukuoka Caliber one. Like how
I didn't take. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm bad. I didn't take any notes. I didn't save any links. I was just
you're good. You're good,
dude.
Yeah. I'm just
we don't do the research stuff, man. We just watch.
No, I would research if it's something that like I'm gonna like once now, season 2, and they are getting a season 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, like, let me look into this more.
Season 3 officially. Nice.
Yeah. It's going to be premiering this year. It looks like they're going back to high school. From what it looks like, we'll see.
Really?
We'll see.
Well, I guess they got to cater to that audience now.
I don't know.
Why not?
Whatever. But yeah, that's cool. I didn't know. Like Fukuoka Caliber, his episode, that's the whole thing, right? Like he has his downgraded suit, and he has to like accept his lower quality, but then at the same time, he's like, I spent 8 years in this thing. It's sentimental to me. I don't like. That's not an insult to me that you changed me back to this suit. Like.
Yeah, heavy messages in every episode of this too, like heavy-handed messages, but humble, very wholesome. Tanaka's character is built around the what he takes away from each of these other heroes, like leading up to his own, super form towards the final episodes. But Fukuoka is like Fukuoka Caliber. His episode. He gets depowered, so to speak, like you were saying, but because of the whole thing is you are who you are in the inside, no matter what you look like. Power of hope, boom, that's his episode. El Brave's episode is based around embracing your weaknesses because he's not as tall as everybody. It sucks, man. I get it, man. Short life is what it is, man. But that's why they sell dope shoes. So anyway, so El Brave's episode is about that. Kita Man's kind of ambiguous because his episode is very much about, well, I guess later on it's the dating one, right? It's the
but his message is, I think, pretty straightforward, honestly, especially for a hero. It's like you do what you can. That's kind of his thing. It's like, not everyone is a good fighter. Not everyone is this, that, and the other. Not everyone is this kind of hero. Like, you just do what you can to help the most people you can. So, like, it's kind of ambiguous, but, like, it's good. Like, I get it.
I know they're doing, like, a message each episode. Man, but I really was hoping Kitakyu's was going to be, like, the whole message was going to be how to take the perfect selfie.
Ooh, that's what I was expecting.
I was just like, this is what we're going to get. He's going to be like, step 1, lighting. Step 2, always charge your device.
It is your angles that are the most effective. Yes. You must angle it perfectly.
See the ladies right there? He's like, if you angle it just right. It's like the man's over here preaching and teaching a whole generation proper selfie etiquette.
Right. He's breeding a whole TikTok generation.
He is a gentleman and a scholar, and he should be respected. Bards will sing sonnets of his travels, his accolades.
The Key to Q theme song, they'll just echo it through time.
I'm waiting for him to get a spinoff. He's going to get a spinoff in an OVA and a V Cinema. He's going to
I feel like they all are, honestly. Like they're all probably going to get an OVA at some point.
Why not? Man?
Do they do OVAs anymore? Was that a really outdated term? Like, is that a thing?
No, I don't.
I just date ourselves.
Wait, OVAs aren't a thing anymore?
Are they not a thing? I honestly don't know anymore. But either way, like V Cinemas, yes. Like
V Cinema. We'll call it just V Cinemas. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Look up, when was the last OVA ever made?
Right? I feel like that was like
that old.
No, wait, no, I got an idea. Let's bring back the Hyper Battle movies.
Yeah. But yeah, so
don't.
The other character that kind of like gets an episode that I was very confused about and is charming, but I don't like this character, Yamashiron.
Yamashiron, poor Yamashiron.
Yeah, so he's essentially a Sentai crew that like combines into one ranger, very like Lupat kind of thing.
I took it as they combined into their mech. Like that was
essentially it. Yeah. And then his whole thing is relying on your friends and that needing help, accepting help when you need it, sort of deal. And that's kind of the thing from that. I like Yamashiron's suit a lot, though. I really dig it. I just it's his personality is like kind of annoying.
It is very milquetoast, but he's
but that's also the point. Like he's supposed to be super polite, and super nice. Yeah. Like that's his whole thing, and he like Red Ron is the main Red Sentai dude who is the main body for Yamashiron. He is very like he's a leader because he is inspired by his friends, but also is like a huge baby where he just like cries and is upset all the time.
Yeah. he needs his friends in order to be an effective leader.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that. That's the whole aspect of him. But it's actually like when they fuse, they're unable to defuse, and it kind of throws him off his balance for a while, and then figures it out down later episodes that they've always been with him. He's just had them on mute mode the whole time.
Literally,
something like that.
Literally, he has these two bracers that like each one is orange, one is blue, and they're supposed to be his partners. And he literally bumps like his wristband, and then they come off mute, and they're like, "We've been here the whole time, dude."
Like, dude, we've heard everything, and you're obnoxious. Like, so yeah. So, and essentially, like, he gets a really, and his design also, as different as it is from the rest of them, it is pretty dope too. The blue flame ear design thing, it's dope because his whole theme is a gas station or a gas
company.
Yeah.
So thematically, he's all like burners and fire and stoves or whatever, pipes. It's a dope look. In terms of, and it's not even like scary looking. Actually, it's actually kind of charming. But yeah, so I like that design. Thematically speaking, all of them have vibes of different ones. Like Kitakyu Man has heavy Kabuto feel to me, but the one that's the most striking to me is El Brave as to an Amazon look. Like it took me a minute to not think it was just an Amazon suit. You know what I mean? An original design. It is an original design, right? Like I convinced myself that it was.
I'm assuming, yeah. I honestly
okay. Because I'm like, it looks straight up like he just took an Amazon suit and just repainted it. But
and it's great.
We have Alpha.
I'm just saying, that suit is so good. You could just paint it green, and I would never ask for another suit again. Like, that's just change the red to green, and it is absolute perfection. I love that freaking suit. The dragon head mask, like the little flare out fin things going on, all the little like armor pieces for the muscles and stuff. Oh, it's so cool. And then when he puts the belt on, he's got the champion belt. It looks so cool.
Oh yeah, the champion belt. And then he gets the king cape too.
Yeah,
he gets
called
like
his champion form, which we can get into the higher up forms in a minute here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the story, the overall plot is very strange.
Oh yeah, there's a plot to this.
Yeah, there's a plot to this too. Other
like
than Rookie just learning how to be a hero, there is an actual overarching plot of why Yabai Kamen is doing his shenanigans, and also
is there?
Yes, there is.
Really?
Yeah, there is. It doesn't make any sense, but there is.
Yeah.
So he collects this golden seal and divides its power between his minions. We got a couple other, they pretty much mimic, they're the bad guys of the local heroes that we have here. They're the Legion of Doom, essentially. The Society of Darkness is the Legion of Doom, for an easy reference. And he divides the power of the golden seals between them. And in each of the individual episodes where Rookie Tanaka learns this new thing, they all get a piece of the gold seal back. And it goes into different things. Like Kitakyu Man gets it into his phone. Fukuo Caliber gets it into like a picture of his old suit. El Brave, it literally goes into his like champion's belt and stuff, so on and so forth. Yamashiron literally eats it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah,
it was funny. It doesn't matter. He's like, I think I swallowed a bug.
Because reasons.
So yeah, the whole point is them trying to get this golden seal and stop Yabai Kamen, because Yabai Kamen has made all of Fukuoka the rough part of town.
Yeah.
And his catchphrase is pretty much, "You've come to the rough part of town."
Yeah, welcome to the rough part of town, bro. And that's it. And that's really all. That's the level of evilness. He wants to turn Fukuoka into the rough part of town.
And they have Rookie Tanaka. Let's talk about Tanaka for a minute, because he's kind of a weird and intriguing character at the same time.
He was very, very atypical, your shonen hero in the first 2 episodes before becoming what is his name? What
Rookie.
is the writer name?
His name's Rookie.
Is it Rookie?
Yes.
I thought they were just calling him Rookie.
No, his name's Rookie.
Shit.
I think he actually, that was his name. I thought that was a nickname too the whole time.
Yeah,
no, that's his official name on like all the Wikipedias
Rookie.
And stuff I'm reading. Yeah. It's not like Oga 2 or anything like that. It's Rookie.
I thought it was like mini Oga.
Nope.
Okay, so anyway, cool. Anyway, so before he actually embraces that whole role, it's really just one note. I want to be a hero. I want to be as strong as everybody, and I want to protect Fukuoka. And yeah,
Yeah.
Somehow that's all it takes, man.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the
like,
power of happiness.
Rookie, yep. In the first episode, Oga fights Yabai Kamen, and basically all the heroes are scattered, and Oga transfers his power, or the little signia thing that he uses, to Tanaka, and that's how he gets his suit. And then it's, the growing pains throughout most of the season until the end. And then it gets to a point where Yabai Kamen is pretty much, I think everyone has like 2 seals worth of power or something like that. And he's on a roof just like calling everyone out, and that's after they had their little argument. Yeah, they have a little argument where they break up, whatever. But they start having a really cool fight scene on this roof, and I thought that was like 2 of the strongest episodes when they were on this roof, like doing whatever they were doing. I think it's like
the choreography was amazing.
10 and 11. Like, just in general, the night fighting and everything was just so cool looking. I don't know why. Like, it was very simple, but just the scenery and the location that they were at, mixed with like him, like Tanaka himself kind of becoming full hero mode, kind of like what you were saying. Like, he does a lot of it is him trying to figure everything out, and then that's when he kind of accepts full hero mode, and they figure out who this other character Idol is, who we can talk about because she's weird too.
She's an integral part for, I guess,
Tanaka's story anyway. And he has this cool moment where he like awakens as a hero, and I just thought it was really well done. And Yabai Kamen is a problem when he wasn't really a problem up until this point, even though he always was, which was interesting too. Like, he kind of had
the power scaling is so weird in this show. There is no power scaling, is there? No. Like, I don't get it.
It's plot.
In some episodes, he's like unbelievably strong, and then he's getting slapped around by Idol. Like, but the one thing I do want to say is they did manage to integrate like, and the overarching story is Tanaka and his relationship with Yuki, and how he had this unrequited love that he always wanted to confess to her, but he couldn't find a way to do it. And so finally they agreed to finally meet up, and it's in that effort that this whole thing kind of takes place. He encounters the heroes one by one as he tries to track them down, because of his task is to save Fukuoka and take back Fukuoka and gather the crew. One by one, they actually start to live with him because of this effort, and it's just such a random thing that just happens from one episode to the next, and it's so dope when he's like, "Oh, they live here now." Okay.
I was gonna bring that up. I was like, it turns into like a family like sitcom almost, where it's like step by step or something. Oh wow, I'm aging myself.
Seventh Heaven. How about that one?
Yeah, Full House. Rest in peace, Bob. Sorry, but yeah, no, legit. Like, it's charming. Oop, ripped up my mic here.
Jesus. All right.
Yep. Well. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Goodness. Yeah. No. It's interesting. Yeah. They start to move in. Yeah. And they have that whole shtick. And that's kind of what I meant when I said in the beginning, like, I wasn't sure if this was going to keep my attention as like a parody series, because it is a lot of shticks, right? Like, everyone has their own shtick. They have the family dynamic shtick. They have the Tanaka just being like awkward and weird shtick going on. But like, honestly, it was kind of endearing by the end of it. Like, watching it all meld together, I genuinely enjoyed this first season, at least. We'll see where the second season goes, but I did actually genuinely enjoy this.
I bring it up like the other indie ones, like Parahero Gundin and the High School Heroes, where it's like they have all the tropes, but it's like the good tropes that like entertain us, that like will keep us interested. It's like, it's one of those things like we're in the back of your head, like, I wonder what trope's gonna be featured next, because this is really cool. And it's, I don't know, like the last year or so have been really good for indie toku lately. Like, this has been like, it's almost like a renaissance era, because like you said, with the fighting and the rooftop stuff, I think what helps this show is they don't have that big budget where, Subaraya Productions or Toei or that, they're going to put some special effects in, they're going to do like this high budget and like camera cuts and this and that, and they're like, okay, everyone, our budget today was lunch and coffee. You got 25 minutes on this location, and then we have to leave.
We have to film in this park before the cops come.
Like, let's go right now. Go. Commence. It's like,
they didn't have money to rent out that quarry that Toei likes to use, that kind of thing. They didn't have money for that, so they found a park somewhere.
Or that bridge.
That one bridge.
There's literally a sign there that says like Toei filming property, like only Toei Toku can be filmed on this
Oh
location.
yeah, absolutely. They use that quarry like there's no tomorrow. It's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, indie Toku in general, you're right. Like it's just been, we've seen a lot, whether it's Power Rangers, Japanese indie stuff, Indonesian indie stuff. Like we've just seen so much of it lately, whether it becomes a full production like this or if it's just, YouTube shorts. Like it really is in a good swing right now. And that's so cool to see because I think, it's easy for this kind of stuff to get caught up, and obviously there's a lot of like Power Rangers fan films and stuff like that. We were actually talking about this with Jem yesterday. There's a lot of like Power Rangers fan films, and there's always going to be, just because in the West I feel like that's more prominent with Power Rangers and just in Toku in general, other than like Godzilla. But to see like local heroes, to see like you were saying Parahero, stuff like that, like little indie projects that are a couple episodes long that have somewhat of a budget, not a huge budget, but somewhat of a budget, get some spotlight is really cool to see. And I hope we continue.
Parahero is probably one of my favorites.
Really?
I was
And
going
it's
to
only
check
3
that out.
episodes.
Yeah.
It's only 3 episodes.
Okay.
Like for me personally, because like before I moved out here in this and that, I've done stuff with the Special Olympics and other like stuff like that. So it's like I was like, oh man, like this is cool. This is something like not just from a Japan release standpoint. I was like, this is something that could be shown here. Like this is something that like they're like that it had the tropes in it, but because it was only 3 episodes, there was no like filler. It got straight to the point of the story, but it was still lighthearted enough, and I was like, this is really cool. And also I kind of got Guyver vibes from the Henshin,
Drop the G word.
Ultraman in there, little Ultraman in there.
Okay,
I was like Gaijins. I'm like, oh, you hit all.
There you go.
You hit my favorites. You hit my top 5. Like the first episode. Funny narrating. I was like, oh, you hit the comedy too? The comedy spot?
Dang.
I was like,
Oh. Okay.
and it was like slapstick comedy, and I was like, oh, slapstick comedy. Like that's a very acquired taste right there.
Right, you had me at it was dope. So now I'm on board completely. Like,
Yeah, we'll have to
It's
check
like
that
a
out.
quick- and there's just so much indie stuff, and like I'm still hoping like High School Heroes. Like now that we got Dogengers getting a season 3, I'm like, okay, give me my V Cinema, and they have merch. I found merch.
Okay,
I would find merch.
there you go.
I would find merch. They have the acrylic little character stand things.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm looking at the Fuko Caliber, and instantly I'm like, why is that a indie better version of Kamen Rider Live?
damn.
Dang, you said it. Mark dropping the
color
heat.
is so good on that. It's like Kamen Rider Live if Live was in Gaim, because it's just so many different like bright colors. And I'm just like, that helmet looks so good. I'm like, man. I was like, is that Live? Like
they dropped like an El Brave SH figure art, I would most likely buy it, to be fair. Like I don't even
It's
collect
the
figure arts.
alpha. It's just alpha. Like,
It's
that's
fine.
the Elver figure art. It's just Amazon alpha.
I just love El Brave. Oh
I know.
my goodness.
I wish the indie stuff got merch, not even just from like a collector standpoint, just because that would help bring
Support, yeah.
money in to continue it. Like I think it was like NHK did Parahero, and like they're a really small company, but they got Kamen Rider Zeo in it, and they had the guy from Ultraman Dyna. They had all these like known faces in like big Toei and Subaraya productions in this, and it's like, okay, like
Done deal.
like that could easily be. What are you eating?
Uh-oh.
What'd you just eat?
Oh my goodness.
One of the best
There's
quotes
no
of
food over there.
parenting.
Oh, it's a cat.
Oh, it's a
It's a
cat?
cat. It's
Well,
a
it's
cat.
parenting. It's parenting.
Yeah, it's parenting.
It's parenting. That counts.
Bitch made eye contact and ate something off the floor, but I cleaned, so there's nothing on the floor.
That you saw. She found that, and it's chow time.
What did you eat?
Oh my
Mine now.
goodness. Yeah, so by the end, they find so Ogaman shows back up. Ogaman's been gone the whole time. Everyone thinks he's dead, and because Tanaka is like the green version of Ogaman, he's his Nigo to his Ichigo kind of thing. Everyone thinks Ogaman is gone. And then in the last episode, he just shows up.
Yeah, from underground.
Literally
His-
from underground.
Like he comes up in the cinch of a moment to grab Yabai Kamen's ankle, something like that, and he was underground the whole time, coming back up like Saitama, like what's up, and then Deus Ex Golden seals everything.
Yep.
Legit. Like he was digging in some. I forget. I don't know if that meant anything because I didn't understand.
Back in time somehow.
Was it back in time? Because it made it seem like he went to a different civilization underground that took him back in time. Is that what I'm understanding?
It happened.
Yeah.
So they plot devised him to have the another golden seal that he gave to basically or wait, no, what did he do with it? He healed Tanaka from death. Yeah. Legit.
And Tanaka spread that power to his friends, kind of thing.
Naruto style.
Yeah. So that's when everyone gets these cool upgrade forms. Some of them are a little more fantastical than others. And Peacemaker says pets are just fluffy babies. So yes, that is parenting.
That's it, man.
That's it. So for these upgrade forms, we have El Brave gets his champion form, which, like Rob said, he gets like the King Cloak from Tekken. He gets that big furry collar thing. I fucking love that thing. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Fukuoka Caliber gets a doppelganger that wears his old suit, which is pretty cool. Yamashiron, I don't think got anything necessarily. Oh, he orange Ron and blue
little
Ron
power up. Yeah.
Yeah, they just become, out, even though he's still combined. They're just hanging out, doing his thing. And then Kita Q-Man gets his red form, his like Hibiki fire form kind of thing.
His Axel form,
Yeah, he gets his, the suit basically just turns red, and he's like, I can hold this for 2 minutes. I don't know what it did, but he's like, I can hold this for 2 minutes.
He does a finisher. He does a finisher.
It was dope. And I think that was really, and Tanaka gets what he calls memory mode, which plays into Idol. Yeah. What did you guys think of these final forms?
I didn't like Tanaka's arms additions.
Really?
Like, I don't like the clash. It really doesn't fit at all. It looks more like a weapon rather than like a final form. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just so. I don't know. Are those the dolls?
Yes.
Is that what they were?
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
So then that's I didn't get it.
It's memory.
I didn't get it.
What about you, Mark?
You give anyone a cape,
right,
and a belt, and I'm instantly just like, you know what? That's my favorite. Like, as a longtime wrestling fan and also Tekken and everything, I was like, all right, if he's not hitting German suplex, the back suplex, like I was like, that's why I haven't started season 2 yet. I'm like, I need to see a lot of wrestling moves. I was like, let's face it, in Japan, wrestling is big and it's actually respected and ingrained in their culture. So I was like, let me see some of that. Like maybe
we'll get a muscle buster. We'll get a muscle buster.
I want to see a cross promotion with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh my god!
Head over to the dojo. I was like, because that was the upgraded suits. It caught me off guard because I was like, oh, these are city, heroes. Their suits are the way it are because not everything from an indie toku standpoint get upgrades because budgetary constraints. But I was like, I couldn't hate on any of them because I was like, at the end of the day, I'm still just like, man, the fact that these are still like real characters.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, that is so cool. And I'm like, well, when they're not filming, are they back doing their like real life like city hero stuff? Because that's kind of cool. Now they have upgrades to like walk around. I was like, that's like, that'd be like
now you can see Fukuoka Caliber walk around in both suits as opposed to just his newer one, and then you have the nostalgic fans, and I was like, dang. And I think that was kind of clever too, like, right, like they had Yamashiron and Fukuoka Caliber like just repurpose stuff they already have to save on that kind of thing, like you were saying, like because that's budgetary stuff. And like I'm sure it wasn't that hard for Kita Q-Man to just get a red undersuit as opposed to the black one. You know what I mean? Like they're clever little like design things that they did to try and put it into other places, like redoing the arms on Tanaka's suit and stuff like that. So
definitely
is the actor who plays Tanaka the same dude who like plays the character in real life, or is that just not a hero and they just made him for the show kind of thing?
I thought this was just for the show. Of all the vibes, he felt like an actor.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think he was actual.
Yeah.
What if he is now though? Maybe the show inspired him and now he is.
That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. Also, we should mention that none of these characters, except for Tanaka, ever like de-henshin or anything, so they're always in their suits, except for our boy Kita Q-Man.
Yeah, bro.
Who does take his helmet off at the end. And is he the actual guy who plays Kita Q-Man in real life?
No idea, but I'm going with it.
what I heard, yes.
Okay.
But I haven't fully like gone down the rabbit hole.
That's fine. I was just curious if you knew off the top of your head.
I saw the and I was like, are you sure you're really sitting here? I was like, I feel like you could possibly be an actor.
Yeah, I mean, it is too cool.
You got the line and the face. I was like,
handsome dude. He's a handsome dude, but he was just like,
I was like,
he had very perfect hair. Like his hair was too perfect.
When someone who dresses up like a hero and walks around a city in real life takes their helmet off, I imagine this is what's underneath there.
Yeah. Like either that or just like oily, sweaty, like slicked back hair, because those suits are not breathable.
You could be on a billboard selling you like cologne,
absolutely,
or some sort of like skincare regimen, or maybe like
suffice it to say, Kita Q-Man's a stud, and it just solidifies how awesome he is. And
exactly.
That's why he's my favorite. So
what I don't get is why he's not taking selfies without the helmet on.
Right. Like, that's what I thought, because he was like, "Oh, I got to take these great pictures, show off this delicious food," and then he's like taking selfies of himself. But I was like, "This dude's hot. What are you doing?"
Ask yourselves this though. Even if you had this Brad Pitt look, you being you, if you had a Rider helmet, wouldn't somebody have to cut it off your head?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
me being,
so that's why.
That's fine. I get it. I just
listen. Sidebar: as someone who's trying to buy a Kamen Rider Blade King form suit to my measurements, I would never take it off.
No, bro. No.
Every one of these podcasts would be full getup.
Yeah. And I was even the helmet, like I have a couple of the legacy Power Ranger ones still in the box. And it's only because if I take them out of the box, I'm wearing them all the time. Like it's happening. Like I'm just gonna be like in a conference call at work, just like they're like, "Okay, Mark, what do you think?" I'm like, I think it's morphin time, honestly.
I think that's more phenomenal. How about you? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of El Brave and wrestlers, Zigra had mentioned that there was a wrestler in a couple of the Gamera movies. Mach Fumiaki, I guess, was in a couple of the Gamera movies. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, like just going back to what you were saying earlier, Mark, with the wrestlers and you know, it being ingrained in the culture.
I forgot his name because he was in AEW recently and a few other ones. He's in New Japan. He was in the first episode of Revice when they stamped him, the criminal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name because I'm terrible with names.
And there's another one who's been in a few V cinemas in this and that, and I think it might have been Tanahashi.
That sounds about familiar.
Right.
Yeah,
because I think he also it's whoever also got Lars's pro wrestling outfit in Tekken 7. It's the same dude. Yeah. That's all I know.
Yeah,
I just don't remember what his name is.
There's two or three who have been in a lot of Toku stuff. Like, and because like I said, Toku and wrestling are just like so well respected and honored there. It's like all the wrestlers who have been in Toku, they're like, it was a big honor. This is something I've like Kamen Rider, something I've been watching since I was a kid. And I'm like, why don't I have anything like that here for someone to give me a call? Yeah. I was like, I will play like comic relief in Power Rangers Dino Fury season 2. I prefer to be a villain, but I mean,
100%.
I'd have been a goon. I'd have been a goon.
I'd be a putty,
I'd have been the best goon.
I would have been running away. Listen, Toei, call me and Mark for the 20th Blade anniversary. We'll literally run away in the background. It doesn't matter. We're in it. That's all that matters.
2 years. You've got 2 years.
2 years. Call us.
Give us like a month.
Yeah.
You can write a script. Just missing Ace? No, more like second joke.
We'll just like high five and run away. That's what all we'll do in the movie. It's fine. We don't even have to be in it. Other than that, it'd be amazing.
They better give us something in 2 years. I swear.
Crazy.
I did make you the greatest back character of all time.
Yep.
Oh my God.
What was his name?
Chuck Dervick.
Chuck Dervick, dude, the greatest extra
college,
that ever lived.
I wrote a skit that Carl starred in. His name was Chuck Dervick, the greatest back actor of all time. And every scene that he was in the background of, I have him making this face.
You should have been like, he's the lead extra. The lead extra.
That's essentially what it was. He was the most famous extra ever.
He was the greatest extra of all time, and he was doing like this interview after his career, and he was just like, "What's your motivation?" And all that shit. Like, It was just the most mindless shit, but it was so perfect that he did it.
It was essentially Dogengers. Like, it was that kind of energy where it was like we would write these very serious scenes, and then I would just stand in the back and like staring at the
this
camera.
couple's breaking up in front of him, and he's just like
just dead faced.
I gotta find that thing. Holy crap!
Yeah,
man.
if we find it, we'll post it up. But yeah, that was a time. But yeah, like we did dumb shit like this Dogengers thing all the time, that kind of thing, and it was fun.
We need more stuff like that though. Like not not Dogen, but like a lot of people do a lot in the West. They make a lot of fan made like Power Ranger stuff, mainly a few Toku related things, but it's always so serious.
Yeah,
like I don't know why everyone's afraid to do something meta and breaking the fourth wall and making
it's the culture. It's the culture because when you think about it, like think of the way that Marvel has boosted the atmosphere for this, but also is kind of constricting it to this idea that your heroes have to have XYZ. They have to have dope good looks, a sick costume, and be snarky as hell. And that's pretty much the character tropes of every Marvel hero. So the problem is those kind of movies have such serious stuff going on that those are the only elements that you get of the relief, unless you have a Lewis. You know what I mean? But so I don't think that that's something that a lot of people are okay with, because slapstick died in the 90s, bro, with Leslie Nielsen, and we haven't had movies like that ever since.
Naked Gun was
so like, you know, when's the last time you saw a slapstick movie that would actually bring in any audience that isn't super niche?
They tried so hard with that weird Home Alone thing that came out.
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
God.
Tried so hard. I made it 20 minutes in and I was like, no. And like you said with the Marvel formula, it's like I feel like the formula is going to change real soon because after Eternals and
Eternals was Eternals is the perfect example of that trope multiplied by 8 characters to make a 2-hour boring movie. Like they're
they
all
got
the
my guy
same.
from Train to Busan in there, and I was like, "What? You're not going to make him just like
nope,
super badass?"
Nope.
No.
I was like, "Yeah." I'm bad with like actor names. It's like I don't even care.
I wouldn't know his name.
I hate even character names. I'm just bad with names.
He's a dope guy. He's just awesome altogether.
Like they got the guy from Stuber.
Yep.
Right.
Like I was like, I love that guy. He is hilarious in all the movies. Big fan of his.
Stuber's amazing.
All of his scenes in this, I was like, okay.
Yep.
You're good.
Nanjiani, right? Nanjiani. Yeah, that guy. Anyway, but seriously. That's why I don't Eternals didn't work, and I hate it. It's pretty, but it didn't need to be made. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, my one bad take is not everything Jack Kirby did was gold.
Blasphemous.
Eternals was not, and this is from someone who's what? I'm too curious. Go away. Go. And like. So not everything needs to be made, but like from the same part, like I tried watching this. Was it Power Rangers Unworthy?
Yeah,
you didn't like that?
I was like, no, it's good, it's cool, but it's like, I actually put a video up on my YouTube channel. I have found one of my external hard drives with a whole bunch of footage of like I've been going to conventions as press for video games and comics since 2006. I found a Power Rangers Q&A from 2015 that I filmed on my freaking camera, and back then cameras you can only do like 20-minute time. And it was Austin St. John, Karen, Ashley, Jason Narvi, and David Yost. And one of the first questions I asked was, it was right after that like Power Rangers trailer came out, the really dark and gritty one where everyone was like dying.
Yeah.
And what'd you think of that? And they're like, it's cool, but it's like
not Power Rangers.
Why does everything have to be dark? Like, why do they have guns? Why are they shooting people? And I'm just like, yeah, why is everything like? I don't have my nostalgia goggles on anymore, but when it comes to me, I'm turning 36. I remember Power Rangers. I was 5 when it came out, and I was like, I don't mind even as an adult if you give me some wonky humor. Yeah. Give me some cheese. Like I like cheese. I'm not lactose intolerant. Give me the cheese. I'm okay.
Do you think it's because of the years that as we grew up with it, where we grew up in the time that, you know, it wasn't so easy to find a community that shared that same interest. So because of that, it wasn't something that I explored beyond my brother. You know what I mean? So I feel like growing up without being able to really talk about the Power Ranger and express it, as you matured, your reflection on it had, in my case, reflected all of my growing up. And, you know, what would I want to watch now if I could watch Power Rangers now? So I think that's the driving idea of the dark and brutal take. But that is definitely something that is the reason why it doesn't happen anymore, is that mentality, I think. But you guys are right that it needs that injection of that. Remember when it was all good? Remember when things were good? Like
I would do like a hybrid of like the violence of Deadpool, but the humor of like Ernest Goes to Camp.
I mean,
Like Ernest Scared Stupid. Like I'm a huge Ernest fan.
Oh, Jim Varney, rest in peace, sir.
I think easily one of my favorite actors. Like he was super underappreciated, classically trained,
Seriously,
theater, everything. But like when I look at all these things, like Dogenger, I was like, it gave us like kind of like a cool, like, you know, serious message every episode, but it had action, it had the humor, and it's still entertaining. Whereas like dark and gritty doesn't mean mature. You know,
I mean,
like,
as dark as it got was the Idol story. I think the Idol.
I was talking about like, you know, all the fan stuff, because I was like, man, Dogenger, like if we had more people taking this formula, a lot of these OCs you see everyone posting on Twitter like, oh, this could be great. Like, I think it would be honestly more successful because you're instantly, if you do everything dark and gritty and violent, instantly you're already turning away a demographic.
Yeah.
That's not something I care for. It's not that I love horror films. I love gore and dark, and it's just like.
But it's not for everyone.
I like escapism with my Toku. Like that's why I watch Toku. It's just I want to like laugh or be like, oh my god, what's going on? Like this is serious, but then like there's a balance and a formula to it, and that's why I was like.
The balance is very perfect in this show. Like they give you everything that you could want. The references, the nods, the comedy, the action, and the graphics. Excuse me. The CG is very well done in this because they don't overuse it. Yeah. The times that they do, they make it count. But legit, like with the Idol story arc, you have that exact idea that Idol is the fusion of these toys that was left behind after Tanaka and Yuki separated as kids, and the memories that they had together power them and became Idol, which was a reason, but but because of her mixed emotions, she hated him and attacked him, and then he knocked the shit out of her with a super punch and turned her back into this docile version of it with the good memories. But you know, it was those episodes where you got Tanaka doing the most progression of his character. In terms of he had to lie to his friends about the whole situation, and then as the truth finally came out, it was more like he realized it wasn't just a lie. It was, if he had just helped everybody, or if he had just told everybody, it would have helped him with the situation. But and then Idol herself having that duality of revealing the truth about her to him helped him come to terms with how he felt about Yuki. You know what I mean? It was a very nice tie that her character pulled into the whole story. And if they were going to do, I think if anything, that was the most successful thing of the show, story-wise. But yeah, she actually leads to the
memory mode,
the final golden seal being given up, right? Yeah.
Because she gets some of the golden seal power from Yabai Kamen in the beginning, and then he eventually takes it back. He actually is the one who kills Idol. Kills, big air quotes, kills. He strikes her down and then takes the gold seal power back, so he boosts himself even farther. He gets like 3 sections of it at that point, because the other ones still have other things floating around in there, you know, like Yamashiron's in his stomach and everything. And that's kind of what leads into the final battle from the rooftop into the final skirmish where everyone gets their upgrade forms and everything.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what supercharges you by Kamen and then puts, rookie Tanaka into his final, like, nope, we got to stop this dude. We're going to do this now. Because he, as always, as a hero, wanted to help Idol, and he couldn't. He couldn't save her, unfortunately. So, what did you guys think of her sweet War Greymon claws?
That was dope, man. She beat his ass.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't like that. I kind of saw that as well. I'm like, ooh. I was like,
yeah. I was like, straight up just War Greymon claws.
I was like, so now you're trying to appeal to my Digimon side.
Yeah. Dogengers like, we will win you over. We will.
I get what you're doing. You won me over when Itaku took a freaking photo while someone was doing their final attack. I was already sold on that. There. But now it's like, now you're just putting sprinkles on my sundae. I was like, all right then.
I didn't know that those were legit War Greymon gauntlets.
They looked like it. I don't know. They had like the forearm protectors into the big claws. It looked like War Greymon to me, and it was 3 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it also reminded me of one of the characters from Skullgirls. I think there was a character that also had very similar
Skullgirls. I'm trying to think.
Twice. I don't remember much.
I don't remember all the characters off the top of my head.
I
Honestly.
don't either. It's been so long.
That is one of the few fighters that I have not explored very much. Yeah. What was your guys' favorite member of the Society of Darkness? Because there's a couple. Like I said, they all mirror. I don't think have we gone through. I don't think we went through all of them yet. So there's
a big list.
Yeah, there's Shibari Man, who is basically the Mike dude from My Hero. This has a big My Hero energy too.
Talkie Man, yeah, Talkie Man.
Yeah, Shibari Man, and then he's got the walkies. There's Uzagi, who's that puppet thing we were talking about. Maid Tsuji, who is Kitaku Man's rival, who is the maid butler. Shiromaru is Fukuo Calibur's main baddie and is basically a ninja version of Fukuo Calibur. And then Nectaris, who is just a Monster Hunter.
Legit.
Literally, it's just the Monster Hunter. That's all Nectaris is. Straight up is just wearing like Barioth armor.
Uzagi is my favorite just because of how the progression went, by far. I could not get enough of every time Uzagi was on the screen, and any time, every scene, I was like, every time I noticed that the arm would come out more, I just got more excited because I'm like, something's gonna happen, and then finally, when it finally happened, I was like, yep, I love it.
Yeah, nothing about the character itself, Uzagi, I don't care about, but like just the fact that over time, and now we just have someone in like. One of those like Zyga suits, clear color, with the freaking. And it's not even that they have like. I thought it'd been funnier if they just like put the doll in front of their face. The fact that they have the helmet and then it's attached. I'm like, you know what? Like, this is, this is how you handle budgets. And I was just like, but at the same time, it's funny, but it's like. You appreciate the evolution of it, build up to it. So it's not just like, oh, this is stupid and cheesy because they don't have money. It's like, no, this is great.
Yeah.
And you saw the culmination of this over the past X amount of episodes. I was like, this is a payoff right there.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like, a dope payoff. And even into the defeat, it was just like, you know what, that was great. There's nothing about this I hate. That was great.
I was like, you do no wrong now.
I have to agree. Uzagi is my favorite as well, but I will give a special shout out to Shibari Man, the talkie, especially in the end on the rooftop when he like pulls out the DJ station and like starts going while they're battling. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Like I said, like there's so much humor in it, but it's like good. It's not, you know, like sometimes you see comedy and stuff. You're like, oh, I see you're trying to get a laugh out of me for that. Like, but this was just like, okay, you're gonna bring out a DJ set, final battle, start playing music. You know
the cringe was entertaining, actually, not just like cringe. You know, it was like, oh, yeah, okay.
If you think from a hero standpoint, if you're in a final battle, you don't hear the music. You know, everyone else is like a show audience hearing the music, but like, and you get music. It's like, did I just get a theme song? Did I just get a fight theme song right now? I must be in the final battle. Like, this is great.
So good. Dogengers is so much fun. I highly recommend anyone check this out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this is I put this on like a sleeper kind of thing for me. Like, I really was not expecting to like this show in any way, shape, or form, because most of this like parody Gintama type energy stuff I am not a huge fan of, just because it feels more cringy than anything to me.
Sometimes, but this handled it well.
It well, yeah. Shiromaru is the coolest character and like the biggest tryhard, and I think that's why he was so funny to me. The ninja dude, Fukuo Calibur's like ninja baddie.
Oh yeah,
he was such a tryhard, and I was like, there is someone out there who thinks this is the coolest character in the world. He didn't even do anything most of the show, but I was like, I know there's a dude out there who's like, that's my guy. That's the one.
That's my favorite right there.
That's the one.
Top tier. He's in the S rank.
Yep.
You got. What'd you think of the roll call? Because the roll call was like the best part of that ending sequence.
I mean, it's a roll call.
Yeah, I know.
Come on now.
I'm a sucker for a good roll call. So I mean, they could be messed up. A roll call could be ruined.
This was dope.
I've seen some bad ones.
There's some bad ones, but they're still a roll call and just great to me.
Like in recent years, one of my favorite ones was the crossover with Zenkaiser and Saber. And on the Zenkaiser episode, they were trying to get Darendal to join in with the Zenkaiser roll call, and he was in a dress because they were. And he's just like, "I'm not doing it." He's like, "Come here, Darendal, don't make me."
Don't make me. It reminds me of what's his face from Gaim when they did when he equips the Forza. He's like, "Ooh, choo!" That's all you're getting.
That's all. That's enough of that. Yep. Yeah, that's enough of that. Zangetsu.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Any closing thoughts on Dogenger before we get into the news here? Because I think we pretty much covered most of this show and what the season provides for us.
If you're mainly into like the top 3 Toku, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Ultraman, I would say Dogengers is probably like cream of the crop for indies, especially for an ongoing series, because High School Heroes, it ended. We don't know if there's a season 2. Parahero, 3 episodes only for the Paralympics. But the fact that this is still going, there's a season 3, there's character growth because it's given more time, and it's very entertaining. And if you like stuffed rabbits,
if you like wrestling rabbits, this show's for you, bro.
This show is like, and I hate because I've said this so much about indie stuff lately, but this is like a love letter to like all the tropes of Toku. And I feel like a lot of the indie Tokusatsu shows have been doing that lately. Instead of just trying to like be their own thing and be different, they're like embracing all the tropes and the cheesiness that we enjoy, but also adding in some serious stuff, a message, character growth, and a little bit of budget. A little bit of budget. A lot of the stuff they're doing right now is, to my opinion only, and bad take Mark over here, better than what we're getting from the big 2 production companies right now.
Yeah.
Because I finished Trigger, so I mean, it happened, and
that seems to be the general consensus.
Kamen Rider's been a thing. Like, I like Revice, but like these indie ones, like there's no filler. There's none of those like, okay, we're gonna go into the 12 episode arc that's just gonna kind of set up some stuff for the last stretch, but we're not really gonna give you anything. It's like when you go to you walk around a food court at a mall and they give you like a little piece of food on like a toothpick. It's like, oh, cool, thanks for the sampler. And then it's like, you gotta wait, and then you can sit down and order the meal.
Yeah. Do you think like I've been, before we get into the news, this actually could probably lead into it, but I will say that I did enjoy Dogengers on levels beyond just of what it was, because I don't know if I'm still riding that vibe of the Senki movie, but the sentiment that I took away from this movie is that these underground garage heroes are just doing this for the love of it, and their passion became this. And now we have something that can inspire dudes like us to do more than just, appreciate it and talk about it and engage in the community that we have, to bring it here, bring it home, because we can do that here. And imagine when enough of us are crazy enough to do it legit and make that happen. Because all these OCs, and like you said on the Twitterverse, and all these OCs, we can have them You can get him. Let's do it. Like,
that's why me and Carl go to the gym. We're gonna make American Blade. American Blade.
American Blade.
that's
Please let me be Hajime. I will be Hajime. Please let me be Hajime.
Yes, we're gonna do it. Stephen Ford, my man, watch out. There's new American riders in town.
Yeah.
We have the crossover.
Yeah, we're going back to like 4x3 too when we do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dogengers, absolutely fantastic. The suits are very cool. Like I said, Elbrave's my boy. I honestly, like, a lot of it was, I would have gotten through it, but most of it was just Elbrave being on screen and being obnoxious, and that's just, it spoke to my heart. And him drop kicking people and like,
oh my god,
just Frankensteiners and all the great wrestling stuff that I expect from a grappling rider, essentially, is what we got there. Yeah, Dogengers great. Please go check it out. Season 3 is announced. That'll actually just lead us right into the news. Dogengers, the 3rd season visual was given out and passed around. We got a girl with a katana hanging out in a schoolgirl uniform. And it is, the subtitle on this one is An Ordinary Girl's Peculiar Story. So we'll see what happens there. We did not finish Nice Buddy. None of us had time. Nope. So this is just strictly the first season. Nope. I did see the first 2. There's a character in there that's pretty funny. If you've seen like a 45-second finishing move, that's where that's from.
We did, yeah. That was wow. Like, wow. Everything about that was amazing.
It was amazing.
But holy crap.
It was so long. I loved it.
Grangio is jealous of that one.
So yeah, season 3 coming out soon. Keep your eyeballs glued to wherever you decide to watch Dogengers.
Also, season 1 and season 2 got box sets released.
Dang.
Box sets. That does not happen in indie toku. They have box sets,
bro.
Yeah.
All right, done deal.
That's why I'm just like, okay, this show. I think this show is gonna keep going, and I think production value is gonna keep increasing. And
it should.
We could have a new actual like franchise on our hands, a new IP.
That'd be cool. Or at least this company making Toku stuff in general. Like maybe not necessarily Dogengers, but start their own stuff.
Yeah. You think you have to keep the same successful formula. So I hope it's the same director. That's gonna be the secret sauce. Because if she could do that with a small budget, bro.
More money in there.
Yeah.
Need to start a Patreon.
There you go. For me, you can go to patreon.com/Tokudon right now, actually, and get early access to the video of this podcast.
Plug. Everyone, I'm going to make a crowdfunding Toku site for everyone who's a Toku content creator, and I'm going to call it Only Henshins.
Only Henshins? Dang, okay. That's good. Okay.
I dig that.
And I like it. Because I was just like, because there's so many, like, just, there's a lot of us creating content for Tokusatsu stuff. Yeah. And all this indie Toku stuff, and you guys working on the OCs this out. It's like, man, let's get some funding. Let's get, like,
what up, Universal? Like, what's going on?
Like, yeah, like I need to know who. I need to like go through my Rolodex. Oh no, that's an old term. Wow.
Rolodex. Dang.
Were you gonna date us that far back, dude?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought OVA was bad.
I still keep stuff like just in case, like the uprising of AI,
the apocalypse.
Yeah, I don't know, Mark, if you know this, but I have a constant fear of the Skynet uprising, a vivid, constant fear of it.
Seen iRobot way too many times.
I don't even
have an IT degree, so I know where the tech is right now, and I'm like,
you're
near where I live.
You're the level of fear that I would get to if I wanted to know my enemy further. So like,
I'm on the inside. I'm like infiltrating. I'm just like, there you go. That's what you're doing right now, Microsoft. Okay, Windows. You're working on Windows 12 already. Oh,
I'm to the point where I walk by those droids that are patrolling the shopping mall. The shopping aisles and the beeping little mark things, and I'm like, I don't believe you. You're monitoring everything.
Go watch a movie called Chopping Mall then.
Oh my God, Chopping Mall.
Because those things go rogue.
Oh my God.
I'm a horror fan too, bro. So Chopping Mall is a classic. Okay. Holy crap.
I think it's on Shudder still. Like
definitely, yeah.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So 01 was both amazing and horrifying for me. So.
I was gonna say, that's they checked all the boxes for like, someone read my dream journal. Under the category of please don't happen.
Right. Yeah. Right in the opening, like by itself, with just the army of stupid androids taking over the world.
Everything about it horrified me. I'm like, Great. This is being a whole year of my nightmare. Great.
Was it really specific, like an Android voice actress and a high school basketball coach? Like, it was a really specific things coming out. Like, I had a dream this Android basketball coach became self-aware, and all he wanted to do was win one game. So he made me do layups until my legs broke.
You will and do them successfully again and again.
Peacemaker says it'll be fine. Just a light kick to those drone things. It'll topple over with no way to get up until they implement that Boston Dynamic tech.
No,
and that's what's terrifying.
They can open doors. It's like in Jurassic Park when the kids thought they were safe in the kitchen for the Velociraptor. Then they look at the handle, and the handle's just going down, and the raptor's just like,
no.
Yep.
You'll see me channel iRobot. I'll be calling Carl. Carl, what's happening? The robots. The goddamn robots, Carl.
Oh, my goodness. I'm grabbing my belt. I'm running. You're going to hear the ghost engine. Bacini mio! Dun, dun, dun. As I'm just running down the road.
That's a good driver right there.
It's a good jingle. I like that one a lot.
I'll be screaming the whole time, just crying.
You're just crying in the corner with your Gaim driver, like, why doesn't it work? Robots don't like fruit.
Keep doing it. Do something. No.
And then I'm just going to open the door and be like, you shouldn't have chose Gaim. And just close it.
As you have like a little Blade helmet on, you're like, it's like, it got more votes in the poll.
Just close the door.
I mean, that's a merch shirt that you need to make, is just like a poll, just the actual poll results.
Just the poll numbers, yeah.
Just like a blurry screenshot.
Yeah. That's all you need.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of which, we might as well talk about it since we're talking about Blade. Blade turned 18 this year. Was it January 25th, I think was the official day. So,
happy birthday.
Yeah.
4th, I believe.
Blade is officially an adult by government standards. Most of them anyway. So, yes.
Which means it's old enough to get a job and stop writing the coattails of the past.
Well, I mean, better than Gaim.
Wow.
Just you got one dude doing all the work.
Fans have spoken.
How many V cinemas did Gaim need just to match those numbers?
Exactly. And it's still lost in the polls.
We just had Missing Ace, and that's all we needed.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That was terrible.
Fine.
So that's fine. I didn't like.
I'm still missing one Missing Ace soft vinyl for the 3 riders from that movie.
Oh no!
And I found them, 2 of them in the wild, and that's like my merch like mecca right now is to find that one soft vinyl I'm missing, and then because I have all the SH figure arts, I have every single one ever released for Blade.
As you should.
Of course you do. Of course you
It's very expensive. Like even though because some of them I had to buy combo packs to get the motorcycles, but
because that's the only way they can sell them is in combo packs. I understand. Yeah.
Listen. If Blade merch wasn't so expensive, I'd send you Blade merch. But that's too expensive, and then that would take away Blade merch from me. So,
and I know it's so precious.
I'm just gonna send you Blade photos every day for.
Just do that. Just send me
the 20th anniversary.
Just you in every selfie, Q Man style of every single item.
Yeah, I'll just get some of that. Figure out some of the gimmicks down.
Peacemaker wants to know if you have all of the Shoto X Blade figures, though.
Not all of them. I am missing Garen. I have both the Joker.
That is
forms.
The one that surprises me the most, actually.
Yeah, I have both the Joker forms. I have Lango. I have Blade. I have not all of them are on display. Some of them are still in the boxes because I'm moving next month and I am out of space for merch. I have to start being okay. What's going back in the box? I have. You go to Target, you get those big, huge, clear totes that you could see through. I have 4 of those full right now.
Nice.
Of just Toku merch. And my fiance's like, "Oh, you're getting ready and packing because we're gonna be finding a new place." I'm like, "No, I'm out of space and I bought more stuff.
I need stuff."
And I label them too. I print out little QR codes, and the QR code goes to a Google Doc that gives you a list of what's in the box because I'm OCD for organizing. And I was like, "Yeah, no, I have a lot of stuff." But also Peacemaker, I don't like the Shoto X, by the way. I don't like, they're too bendy. Because of the soft vinyl rubber they use on them. I feel like I like the Sotos more. because I did get the Blade King form Soto. It comes with the cards.
Of the one you have, what is your favorite Blade piece?
Let's see.
Is it the Garen CSM?
Well, that's in a box. It's unopened.
Other than the Garen CSM, because that's a given.
The Blade King form.
Ooh.
You disrespectful.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Because it does absorb Queen. It does all the sound effects from the King form. Or I have I kind of like the Jack form for Blade as SH figure, but I have to go with the broken helmet base Blade form. Because that broken helmet, the broken helmet was like such a trope in Kamen Rider that it kind of fizzled out a bit.
Yeah.
And very rarely did the broken helmet version get an SH figure art.
Very cool.
Touche.
And the first two SH figure arts I ever bought was the broken helmet Garen and the broken helmet Blade.
Nice.
That broken helmet, like I miss that. And I know it started with like a lot of Metal Hero stuff, started the broken helmet trope, but like, man, something about anytime it was in Kamen Rider, it's raining.
Yep.
It's nighttime. The helmet's broken.
Yep.
And it's just like, you just checked off the 3 sweet spot boxes. Like, proceed with the episode.
Yeah, like it's such a cool thing that they do. And for me, it was always like, the first time I saw it, right, was Time Force back in the day, right? Like that's when I first saw it. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because like most of the time, even at that point, I had known like, they're using clips from other stuff. And I was like, holy shit, you can see his face. Oh my God, that's so cool. I don't know, like it's just a cool thing to me. And like to see them underneath.
Didn't they do a broken helmet in Mighty Morphin?
Did they? I honestly don't remember. I may not have been cognitive enough to remember at that point. Yeah, no, but that's the first vivid memory of it I have.
Yeah, no, I remember Time Force though, because that was
intense too.
And my boy Quantum Ranger, my favorite Inbel favorite.
You mean Virgil? Yep, he's great.
Got
his rollerblades.
My first broken helmet was Zangetsu before he fell into the fucking ocean like a winner.
Right. From the true main character Michi. I forgot about that.
And it doesn't check any of the marks. It's daytime. He falls into the water and his helmet breaks from.
But there is water, so that's like half a check.
Okay, it's like
you do like a V.
Peacemaker. I know the King form is Shoto X, but the fact that it's King form. And
trumps a lot of things.
It comes with the cards. Sadly, I'm keeping in the box until I get a 3D printer, because they show it on display with him about to swipe through the cards and they're standing up. There's no stand to put the cards in.
Dang.
So I'm like, I guess I'm going to, and they don't sell one. So I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to make my own.
There you go.
So I know it's Shoto X, but it's displayed in King form, so it's kind of like an asterisk. Like it just moves through all types of action figures. It's just it's the King.
Yep.
No one else has actually had a King form since, for a reason. Like there are no other Kings. There's just one.
Yeah.
There are no other Kings.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Not that I recall. I mean, I have every Kamen Rider season. I'm pretty sure after Blade, there's no other Kings.
No, there's daimyos, there's shoguns, there's a god.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure his name is Fruit
Kanye
Basket.
said what's a god to a king, so I mean, it's a god to a non-believer.
Dang.
That's pro Kanye, so I mean, I'm just saying.
Dang.
Well,
threw some Yeezus at you.
Crawling up your little blade belt.
Listen, I can find loopholes and ways to just continue to prove that Blade is the best.
Here's a good point for me. Help me with this, because Geo botched it. How would you fix the plot holes for Blade 18 years later?
There are plot holes?
Oh, damn. I'm so sorry.
Wait, called you out. Also, outside of Build, was it Build where Decade, when Blade came back in King form and obviously showed that Blade is still like top tier and slaps everyone around. And
as the leader of the old world, quite literally.
Yeah. That's why Superhero Senki did not have Blade in his King form. It would have been real quick. It would have been like, absorb a queen, done.
Of course, right, naturally.
They would have turned what's Atreides into like a card, and he would have been like, I don't know why we're even here.
So when I say Blade, when I say Blade is my favorite season, I'm talking about just the season itself and the movie. Because the Zeos, like when they were like doing all those weird, anytime Blade came back, and you could see like Blade, Kensuke was kind of the Tommy of Kamen Rider for a while. They're like, oh, we got to bring Blade back. Let's bring it with good reasons. But then when they had a different character playing Blade, and then they were just like, oh, bored. I'm like, you know, if you're going to make all these weird, new, like, kind of subtle storylines, but not give us anything for it, like a V Cinema,
right?
Then give me, like, another season of Blade so you guys can try and explain this to me.
We got a novel. That was cool, right? That was super depressing. I mean, I don't...
Even more than the show? Like, even more than the show?
The show was not depressing.
I mean... So, I don't know.
It was.
It was pretty depressing.
I got, like, 10 episodes in, I'm like, wow, okay.
You explain it like in like so, like someone was saying before, like, oh yeah, no, so this guy who's technically an undead, like takes human form, kills a dude, and then goes lives with his family and rents a room. But he's also a photographer, like,
which is nice. He wants to help the people.
And then the main character is kind of an idiot, and his best friend drinks way too much milk and probably has a calcium deficiency, but also is exploiting you to write his own book. And meanwhile, you have the Hermione of the group, who's you know kind of a secretary of her board in developing, and then you got Tachibana, who just literally anytime you are in frame with him, you're probably going to get shot.
Yep, and he's going to do the shooting.
It's kind of like that interview where Joss Whedon was like, anytime he was filming like the Avengers, anytime he could like have the Hulk hit Thor out of frame, he would write that into the script because he thought it was just something was funny about Thor getting knocked out of frame. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's Tachibana. He's like, oh, Blade's running up to, hey, how's it going? Nope, shoot, done. And it's worse when you watch it in 1080p 60 frames a second because it's just so crisp and the frame rate. I was like, it just looks 10 times cheesier and 100 times better.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, the if anyone is not familiar for the sequel novel, are you familiar with it, Mark?
Vaguely. I haven't
read it or anything either. I read a plot synopsis kind of thing. Essentially, Rob, because I don't know if you know about it. Essentially, it takes place 300 years later, where Kenzaki is still roaming around, but he has been tortured. He has been everything under the sun and is basically insane because all of his friends are dead, and he has been tried to kill. He's been murdered multiple times and it doesn't work and tortured and all this stuff. So him just running around a post-apocalyptic world, basically, being super depressed and not remembering anything.
I dig it. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And then they undid all of that with Zeo. So, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. That makes sense.
The 300 years, it also doesn't make sense if you take into effect like missing Ace and everything else. So I was like, I'm kind of okay that Zeo took that away.
Yeah, I mean, Missing Ace was always an alternate ending anyway. You know, I mean, they started with a different ending kind of thing. So I just always saw it as like, you know, the novel is also technically not canon kind of thing. As far as I understand, yeah, it's not.
I watched that opening fight of the final episode so many times. Like, just the rain.
It's so good.
And like the Hajime just,
so
the blood. I was like it's because that's the first Kamen Rider show I've ever seen. I don't count Masked Rider, but like something about that scene, like 19 years old, just like I was actually at the time in college taking film classes as well as IT, and I was just like, man, this is like such a good scene. Even going back and like watching it now, it's still one of the best like fights that's why like with Saber when it was Caliber and he brought out freaking was it Primitive Dragon and it's raining and they're like no and I'm like he hit the water pipe. I'm like yeah, rain fight.
Let's do this.
That made me love that trope. Now every season I'm like, is it gonna rain yet? Like I'm still waiting for like a Revice episode where it's gonna rain.
One of my favorite water sequences is Chase when he becomes Kamen Rider form. When it's the warehouse fight and he's just chilling it's after the fight. He finally transforms into Kamen Rider Chase in the rain. Fucking perfect.
Nice. There was a lot of rain in Drive. Like I feel like every big moment happened to be in like a sprinkler or rain or something.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Go the end when he kills.
Like Heart and everything. He has that moment with Heart where it's just pouring, all that kind of stuff. Peacemaker also says apparently the novels just go all kinds of weird places, and Narutaki is a vampire as well. So that's a thing.
Well then,
yeah. Blade, I love you.
A lot of things.
I love you. I will always love you, and I will die on the hill of it as the greatest Kamen Rider ever. And Gaim sucks. Anyway, next back to the news. So Godzilla announced a new MonsterVerse canon series coming to Apple TV. Did you guys hear about this?
I think we touched on it before, but is there any more information?
No. Did I talk about it last time? I don't even
just
remember.
Mentioned.
Yeah,
just mentioned that it was coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out. I just hope that they do more, original monsters. We can see a couple more of the old gang get implemented, but I would love to see some of the more original ones that they created for movies.
Mothra in it. That's
like the new Mothra. Mothra Leo would be sick.
Yeah, just maybe hint at like building, because so are they gonna, is this like it for like the film universe? Because I know Toho and everything with their deal with was it Legendary and that. I wonder, is this just kind of like let's make a TV show to kind of like fill in some gaps before we do another film? Because I assume we're gonna get another King Kong film.
Yeah. And I mean, Toho, I don't think owns King Kong. I think that's still Universal, whoever it is, America.
I thought they just loaned him out. I thought that that deal.
But I thought we were getting another Godzilla King Kong movie.
Oh, I don't know. I
assume we're gonna get a Kong one first, because Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Last I heard, the Legendary verse was done for the most part, movie wise, and they may continue with some of these series. I don't know. This could also just be like buy some time until they rework the contract. I don't know.
Right.
But last I heard, the Legendary movies were done because Toho was going to try and do their own Godzilla cinematic universe, and that's also why they canceled Shin Godzilla 2. So that's
tragedy.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts so bad.
Yep. So we'll see. I mean, I'm down for like Mecha Kong or wherever else they can throw in there.
Mecha Kong, bro.
As long as it's not like the original Mecha King Kong, we're good.
Like,
all I want is Destroya in Space Godzilla. That's like literally in like a good like Mothra like showcase.
I'm telling you, get all the different forms cooking.
Yeah. Well, they originally were going to do a Mothra film before Godzilla vs. Kong. I think they just fast tracked Godzilla vs. Kong and
they did
scrap the Mothra film, because I was like, I want Mothra, okay. And then I was like, can you just imagine with that level of budget and quality with Destroya?
Yeah.
Yup.
Destroya would have to close out the series.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah. And it's just like, I was like, very rarely I'm like, yes, Western Hollywood, please adapt this Japanese icon that I love so much.
Yep. Absolutely.
I was there for your Zilla conversation. I was just like, I saw that in theaters 5 times when I was a kid.
Yep.
So,
bro, I remember loving it too very much.
I was 11. I still have the cup.
Oh my god.
The Taco Bell cup? Is that the one that you have?
The one where the plastic Godzilla is hugging the cup.
Yep, that's the one. Oh my goodness.
That's amazing, man.
So,
I would keep it too if I still had it.
Godzilla TV show. I'm excited still. If I did talk about it last week, I can't even keep track anymore, honestly.
Did they give any like release? Like, I assume it's pre-production, pretty early on if they just announced it. But Apple TV, I don't know if you guys watch anything on there. Like, they've really stepped up their quality, their budget of stuff. Like, all their shows and movies have really gotten a lot better since when it like launched kind of like bare bones. But I'm out of all the streaming services, I think this is where it'll get the most care it deserves.
Okay,
I see.
That's
also
cool.
Apple TV's like $4 a month.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a couple. Beth's watch more of them than I have. I don't watch a whole lot of Apple TV, but she's seen a couple of the newer shows. There's a couple thrillers that came out. One has like Ron Weasley in it.
The Servant.
That show's pretty sick.
Be careful, it's by Shyamalan Ding Dong. So
it's actually his daughter directed and wrote some of the episodes.
That's cool.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
hopefully she's
from passively watching it. It was pretty cool. So go Godzilla. I'm always down for more Godzilla. You guys know that.
Go Godzilla.
They also announced the last mystery character for the Kamen Rider Revice spinoff, The Mystery of Talassa, and that is Axel.
Axel
from W.
Axel.
Yeah. So Axel's going to be in there. I'm assuming he's going to be some kind of like police correspondent kind of thing. Borrowed him from the Fudo City Police Department or whatever, because we also have what's his face from Drive, the comic relief detective. I forget his name. Ogun, something like that.
I don't remember.
Ogun, I don't know, whatever.
They're gonna make him police commissioner. He's gonna be like Jim Gordon.
I don't follow a lot of Tokudon, so is this like what is this, like a V Cinema?
Yeah, this is like a
I have no
spin-off
idea.
little thing that they're
Okay,
doing. And it looks like Gridon and Bravo are back in it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
They got okay. I mean, their story was pretty conclusive.
I didn't see that, so I have no idea. But yeah, so it looks like Axel and a whole bunch of other police like side character cameos kind of thing going on. So yeah, that's cool. I don't really know what this is. I think it's a V Cinema kind of thing, like you were saying. It's a mini series. Yeah. I would assume this is kind of going to be like the what did they do it for? They did it for
Like the episode style.
yeah, almost like the Blade and Ghost crossover, like a mini episode, couple series sort of thing. That's not the one I was thinking of specifically, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Geo and Decade. Or
Yeah, how they
Decade
did like the Shinobi
Geo.
episodes and stuff like that.
That's weird. That still confuses me because it's like,
The school story they did. Yeah, that was weird.
I was like,
Talasa, Tesla, whatever is a weekly special that will go for about a month. So yeah, I'll do a couple episodes.
not bad. I'll
Cool.
check it out.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, Revice is Revice, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And other than that, they released some more gameplay for Dawn of the Monsters, which is the new kaiju beat 'em up coming out, which looks very, very cool. Have you seen anything about this, Mark?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm
You
very
tweeted
excited
about
for
it,
this
and
game.
I was like, please tell me more. And I was
Yeah.
like, ooh.
It was an
This is-
entire like combat breakdown of what we're cooking in that, and
Really?
I am very excited for that game. It looks very cool. It's very much like Streets of Rage with kaiju. So
Oh yeah.
And it's,
the art style's beautiful too.
I really want more. Like, it's been, almost a year and a half now? Like, I'm waiting for, like, some announcements of some, like, we haven't gotten an Ultraman video game.
Mhm.
And I know most times those are kind of like kid games, like mini games. Same with the Super Sentai ones on, like, the Switch or the Wii. It's kind of like just mini games you could play, this and that. But like, we got Memory of Heroes from Kamen Rider. And I'm like, we haven't had a Bat Ride. Like, I was like, I want a game. Like, can I?
Yeah, like Toei, if you want me to coordinate a Kamen Rider fighting game, you just let me know. I'd happily do that for you.
That Blaze Blue freaking engine or Battle for the Grid engine.
That's what I'm saying. Give it to Arxis. They will make it beautiful, and that's it. That's over. And then I win Evo, so that's fine.
And I will voice Blade.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll be like, "Hi, I'm Blade," because I don't do
Blade.
accents.
This
I'm Blade.
Is it the round starts and hi, I'm Blade. The round's over. I win.
I mean,
Thanks
if
for
it
coming.
is Arxis 2, we're gonna have some crazy like intro thing where it's like, Kamen Riders are ready, heroes for justice. Thursday is great. Round 1.
Happy Hero Justice Time fight.
Yeah, like you got to get it ridiculous if it's an Arxis game. So
Because ever since you streamed the Spire game with the freaking was it the Decade?
yeah,
Mod, I've been just like on a kick. Like, I wonder what other games have mods.
Dragon Ball Fighters has them. We checked that out as well. But yeah, that Decade mod was sick. Peacemaker is actually the one who told us about it.
Yeah,
It is
And I'm just
such a good mod.
I'm starved for good Kamen Rider games. Not even just Kamen Rider, like Ultraman and also
Just Toku
'cause-
in general. Like,
Yeah, like games, like they have so many franchises, so many characters. You're telling me I can't get any other games for them?
Yep.
Like,
we have the only two I can genuinely think of right now are Dawn of the Monsters, and then we have Giga Bash as well coming out, which are both kaiju games, which are fantastic. They have Ultraman characters in them. What is the other one that came out? Overcity, whatever. Override 2, which was kind of a flop in my opinion.
kind of.
Cool. Yeah, it was a big flop.
I'm
Cool
so mad. I
concept.
bought
It's
that on
just
2 different platforms because they showed I bought it on the Switch and the Xbox, and I was like, ooh, Ultraman. And then I started playing it, and I was like,
this feels
ooh.
weird. Yeah, it's very strange. I really, really do like the mechanic though. If you can get 4 people of everyone controlling a limb like a Megazord, I think that is very cool. It's just the rest of the game is not up to that kind of greatness.
Yeah. Okay.
It suffers from, like, everyone wants, like, the multiplayer and this and that, but it's like, listen, we don't need to get into this era of where people are scared to make a campaign or a story mode.
Yep.
Like,
I don't need
get
a
it.
live service Toku game. Let's just put it that way.
No, and that's why I was like, Memory of Heroes was great.
Yeah.
And new game plus, you got, a new character unlocked to play as. Like, there's good. It's like, I just want some good video games.
Yeah.
Very good.
Peacemaker's mentioning exploring the old stuff, which we are going to do more of. Peacemaker. I checked out that Blade game. It is something.
The PS2 one?
Yeah, the PS2 Blade game. Oh yeah, it's something.
It's a game. It got made. Someone approved it.
Someone put very little money to it.
A team of people developed it.
Yep.
Yes, it was more than one person.
I think it was exactly 3. One was the UI, one was the music, and that was just ripping it badly from the TV show. And then the other was the animations for the characters.
I only have it physically because it's Blade.
Yeah. But Peacemaker also mentioned a Zeto game where you can play him in a cowboy outfit. So that sounds fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I dig that. But yeah, I'm on the same board. Like starving for a Toku game, just in general.
Can you just imagine, like, what was it? Like Marvel Heroes or that like other City of Heroes game, just like an open world MMO.
Oh, you DC Universe, yeah.
Like, yeah, Toku, but like you could do co-op if you want.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit, doing like a Toku Souls kind of thing, where you like your different gimmick, and then you pick like a belt, whatever, this, that, and the other, and then the different classes or so, or like different weapons, or the Toku type, that kind of thing. Yeah,
I was savvy enough. I would do mods, but you know what? I don't have enough time, and I don't want to learn.
Fair.
I'm still trying to figure out how to use my drawing tablet in Photoshop Illustrator.
Ooh, Clip Studio is the way to go. Don't use those. You gotta get Clip Studio.
Peacemaker just put a pixel art here of Ultraman. Looks like RX, and is that a Gundam? I think that's a Gundam.
Is that a Gundam? This looks like from one of the. I'll pull up the screen in a second. This looks like one of the. Oh yeah, Peacemaker. I was gonna say it looks like one of the games Peacemaker mentioned before. The SD guys.
What is the name of that game? Is that a mod for a game? Like,
no, there's a bunch of old like turn-based, like the Cross Rays and all that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of those old style games where you can cross over with Kamen Riders, and there's one on PS3 that came out a few years ago that had the same thing, Ultraman, Gundam, and Kamen Rider, and it's sick. It was pretty cool. I've never played these older ones though, so
I don't know. I'll put some of the photos in the Discord. So I go to this place called Book Off out here. They have they're a chain around the U.S. and they get a lot of Japanese import stuff. This and that. They had all the Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Gundam Famicom games.
Nice.
And they were like, they range from like $2.99 to like $10. So I was like, ooh, Ultraman. I was like, oh, is this an SD Gundam? And then in my ignorance, I was like, when did SD Gundam get invented? From a Western standpoint, like by the time I was old enough to understand Gundam, we had like, Seed, Destiny, Endless Wall, and then like SD Gundam kind of finally started being a thing. But then I looked it up and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. You've been around before me since the dawn of Mecha.
Yep.
It was like when I realized in my old age, Mazinger and Great Mazinger are about to hit their 50th anniversary this year.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They're 52? They're 50?
My little things all the way over there for my nano blocks of them. Because, 50 years.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to... They have some of like the movies and a few of the stuff on Blu-ray, but like to find the actual season, that's like ridiculous. Hard to find.
There's a couple series on VRV as well of Mazinger, and I don't know which ones they are. I don't think it's the old one. If it is, it's like the old one, and then a couple of the ones they did in like the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah. Because I know they tried to like not reboot it. They actually were doing like sequels.
Yeah. Like it's all the original dudes, just older.
Waiting like 20 years to do a sequel, whereas like the first sequel literally happened like 2 years later.
Yeah,
but it's like the Dragon Ball issue where it's like you had the manga going and you were trying to do the anime at the same time. And it's like listen, Akira Toriyama, I respect you. You gave me Future Trunks.
Yep.
You gave me Future Trunks.
You let someone give us BoJack Trunks.
yes. But at the same time, you gave us Pan. And
she's gonna be cool and superhero, okay?
And Oolong.
No, Oolong was hilarious in Dragon Ball.
No, Journey to the West gave us Oolong. Let's get this right.
Touche.
But no, it's just like Mazinger. They suffer because it's like then there was like a gap, and it's like you can't do a sequel 20 years later and kids are gonna be like, oh, what's this robots? And it's like, last time on Great Mazinger. It's like, oh, what happened last time? And then you're like, where can I find that? And you're like 1971.
You must go on a great adventure.
2004. You're just now doing a sequel.
Yep. They don't care.
But yeah, because I'm also trying to find, like, I have Gridman, SSS, a Gridman on it, and I was like, well, where's the I can't find the Dynamite. Like, I can't find that Blu-ray anywhere.
Dynamite. Yep.
Yeah, because I know the third one's coming out.
Yep. The movie.
Mechas.
Yep. I am excited. There was also apparently a manga that did a Dynazenon and Gridman-ish kind of thing. It might have been more Grid Knight than actual Gridman. But there's the alternate colors that came out with the Blu-rays, the like blue and purple, kind of like the primal form for Gridman, like that coloration. And essentially the Grid Kaiser has two cannons now. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. There's a cannon on the other shoulder now. I was like, Jesus.
Like, we need it to be symmetrical. We need a cannon on the other side. Thank you. That's all. That's our upgrade. One cannon.
Dynazenon doesn't have an official Blu-ray release yet. So that would be why you can't find it.
Oh, okay. Because, like, I'm just, like, patiently waiting because I was like, I have Funimation. I watch all stuff, but it's like, I like physical Blu-rays. I have that's the only thing I only get. Basically, Kaijus, Ultraman, any mecha stuff, I will get Blu-rays. Like, I'm trying to find at a good price Gundam Unicorn on Blu-ray, which is impossible for such a short series. I'm like,
the OVAs or the show itself?
The show itself.
Okay. The Netflix show. That might be a little harder because it was a Netflix release.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know. They're very weird with that.
But yeah, there's
stuff
a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I'm going to find that.
I also just realized looking at this picture, that picture that Peacemaker sent, by the way, is from Great Battle 5 for the SNES, and it has an English translation. I also just realized the Gundam in here in particular is Burning Gundam in a cowboy hat. So I am...
Is it Burning?
It's Burning Gundam in a cowboy hat.
Definitely a Gundam.
And definitely a Gundam. And nope, those are definitely Burning Gundam shoulders. And I think that is amazing.
Oh, I didn't even recognize the pauldron. Yeah. Oh, snap.
Yeah. And Peacemaker is also waiting on the SMP Dynazenon release to be announced. So that would be great. Super Moderoid. Those guys.
Yeah. I want all the releases. I'm gonna find Great Battle 5 now.
There's a... Yeah, it's Burning Zeto and Ultraman. Is it like regular Ultraman? Just the original one?
I'm assuming.
I can't.
I was gonna make the joke. They all look the same, but that's
it's true to me, man.
Oh, the beams of light look the same.
As the resident Ultraman fan, and I'm purposely moving my chair to show the mangas and all the Ultraman Blu-rays. They do not like.
No, if they showed you a helmet, could you be like? Could you fire them off?
I have not like. I remember my favorites like RB, Orb, Geed, like. But then there's certain ones that are like easy, like Taro and Seven. Like they're everywhere.
More recognizable.
Yeah. No, it's more because there's so many different power up forms too. So you can get one really close.
Yep.
Like that, but then it's like no, sorry, this one had the blue and the gold that went there.
No, the blue and the gold.
Like honestly, if someone put Tiga,
yellow,
like if someone put Tiga and Trigger in front of me, I don't think I could tell the difference. To be totally honest with you, like
you'd be able to by resolution standpoint.
I mean, yeah, but like if someone put like the suit photos next to each other, I probably couldn't tell you which one is which.
Yeah. Are you still watching? You're watching Trigger, right? You said.
Yeah, I'm on episode 5 or 6, I think. It's my as I'm working out when I don't break my water bottle on the elliptical. That's my show that I watch.
Yeah.
So instead of cleaning up water, that whole thing. Yeah.
I like it so far. It's not bad.
No, I was very surprised at how quickly he got his forms. I was like, oh, well, we have all of them already. Okay.
Outside of like the most Ultraman seasons don't run past like 24, 25 episodes.
No, and I just expected it to be spaced out a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, it's the anniversary season, like it's the anniversary one also, so it's new generation T. So I feel like they work. That's my issue with it. It seemed like a lot of stuff was rushed. The pacing felt a little bit off.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like plateaued.
Gotcha. I can see how, yes, there's so far where I'm at, they're definitely throwing a lot of stuff at you to the point where I don't know how much of it's going to be able to stay. Like, it's not anything that I can see, like, other than good guys versus bad guys. I don't see anything that can, like, hook me into a plot. You know what I mean? For 24 episodes.
Yeah, no. that's why like I tell everyone as like because I've seen almost every Ultraman season. Usually I tell everyone like from a modern standpoint, like Orb, Geed, R&B are like really those are like my top 3. I would say like everyone should like check out X obviously because
Digimon.
X, yeah,
because Digimon.
and it's actually like kind of different formulaics to how all the other Ultraman were, but then I honestly. What got me into it was like Ultra Q and the Ultra Q. I loved the Twilight Zone and like, you know, stuff like that. And that's what it was. It was a kaiju Twilight Zone. And I'm like, I was like, sold. I was like, bring that back. Like, I'm hoping we get another Ultra Q to kind of like, they always put one in place between all the eras almost. So we had Ultra Q and then Heisei. And then we have Neo Ultra Q and then it's, or Showa and then Heisei. And it's like, yeah, where's Neo Ultra Q X?
That'd be cool.
Dang it.
Hawk actually mentioned that the other day. I got to check those out because I looked up a clip randomly on YouTube and I was like, this looks interesting. What is happening? I don't know what's happening.
I've never heard of it, so I'm very interested.
Yeah, they're always on sale. I think usually like $10 on Amazon for the set.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I had for the news and everything. Did you guys have anything you wanted to bring up?
I don't see any. Like, oddly enough, I don't follow any news. I follow merch announcements.
Yeah.
And then I plan accordingly.
Is there any merch that you've heard in the last week or two that really catches your eye?
For the Sotos, which I'm going to have a third shelf for Sotos soon because I have all 10 of the Saber line made.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I have the first 3. The next wave coming out for Revice is going to have Sakura and Lovegood.
Nice.
So everyone's like, "Oh my god, Lovecove's getting a little figure. It's tiny." And I'm like,
"Yep,"
because everyone loves that freaking creepy, Duffy animal thing.
Barney.
It's creepy. It's 100%. But like, there's. I'm mad we're not getting any SH figure arts for Revice until fall.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to give Bluefin, Bandai, Team Rider USA any grief, but the timing of releases.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's totally out of their control.
Oh, no, it definitely is. Because Bandai does different boxes for the US releases of the SH figure arts. It happened with Saber and Blades, which were on Amazon. They were actually US released, distributed, and all the other ones were premium Bandai in Japan. The boxes are different. But those still came out while Saber was airing. Like, true. The Revice ones are coming out when Revice technically is not going to be airing.
Maybe this is just a slight spoiler that we're going to have a Revice season 2.
Won't tempt me because you know what?
Zenkaiger is doing a sequel season. I'm just saying.
If they're demons, technically they're undead. What else has undead? Blade.
You did not just do that. You guys did not just bring. Oh my god.
It's like Lion King. It's a circle of Blade, and it moves us all.
I'm done. I'm done.
I told you. Blade. Do not doubt my abilities.
All right. Whatever. I'm gonna let it go because it's the celebration. It's a celebration today. I'm not gonna bring your party down, but I'll get you next time. Son of a bitch.
Other announcement, the Saber V Cinema, I believe, aired, which was like a couple of years after the show.
Oh, did it actually finally air? The 8 years later thing?
It aired, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I am curious because I'm gonna like the hill that I will die on is that Saber was intentionally like overly hated on because of the writer.
Yeah.
And it was for the situation going on in the world, what we got is a lot better than some seasons where there were no filming issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 100% agree. I love Saber. And like even watching Revice, I'm like, I kind of miss Saber. Like I kind of miss him.
When I was watching Superhero Senki, I was like, I miss Saber.
Yeah. I miss these characters. I miss hanging out with these characters.
Like because it was such a feel good season.
Yeah, it was.
Like there were serious moments in the snap, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, like
Yeah,
that was,
and especially since our boy Jim put out a video this past week or so about how Ren is actually a fantastic character, and just their whole dynamic was actually pretty interesting and kind of makes me want to go back and watch it. So
it does require a second watch because, again, now that we've had a little bit of breathing time, I think another watch is going to be refreshing with our optimistic sense of toku.
Right.
I absolutely need to tear something apart.
Yeah, there's been a lot of positivity on this
Stop
podcast.
giving me stuff I like, damn it. Dogengers was amazing.
I stopped taking Toku so seriously years ago.
Yeah.
And I try and tell everyone, they're like, oh, how can you be so like, I got a lot of hate. Everyone's like, how can you be so positive and love Saber? It's like, listen. Okay.
Yeah.
When you sit through 22 seasons of Supernatural.
Yo.
And a show that should have been buried long ago.
Should have stopped at season 5, but we're not going to to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
I would have said at least 6, maybe 7.
Nope.
But
not 6, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like 7 to redeem 6. But like after all that, it's like I am not watching these shows to be overly critical and hyper analyze it. I will, but it's like when I'm initially watching them, I work 40 hours a week. You think I'm just gonna go in and watch a show because I hate it? No.
Yep.
Like if I don't like it, I'm not gonna watch it. That's why I stopped watching.
You're obligated as a content creator to watch shit you hate.
I stopped watching Zenkaiger. Everyone's like, "Why'd you stop watching Zenkaiger?" I'm like, I can't watch this week to week. They're like, "Why?" I'm like, Super Sentai doesn't tickle my fancy.
Nope. Can we stop being the same person, please, for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
But no, because there was enough Stacy. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. That was such a compelling character, and you're gonna give me a 1 sentence per episode.
Yeah, like we talked about it when Zach was on. We'd watched the first 12, 15 episodes, whatever, and then I literally have not watched a single episode since.
I stopped at 21.
Yeah, I watched the updates.
I didn't even get to Stay Caesar. I was like, yeah, that's like the next episode, and I stopped right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but like, I don't know. Everyone's just like, I'm sorry. I'm not positive. It's just like I'm not gonna watch something I hate, and I'm not gonna talk about something I hate because that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, oh, boo-hoo, I hate it. Like last night was the Royal Rumble. Hated everything about it, and I'm like, I tweeted once, and I was like, all right, not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And this is directed to anyone listening. Do you guys really want to listen to us just like shit on something for an hour? Like how?
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
look at the analytics. Those are the things that are getting.
I know. It's just like. That's not entertaining to me. Like to just dog on something for an hour.
That was
I'm
like
not calling anybody out, but I see who Team Kamen Rider is following and who they retweet. I see it, and I'm just like, oh, that's why I tag them almost every day. I'm with the Roman Reigns gift. Acknowledge me. I'm the tribal chief here. Like, I was like, listen. Chief. I was like, if any of you guys want to go back to college, I'm helping pay your tuition right now. I was like, I'm keeping the lights on in 25% of that office. Like,
single-handedly.
I was like, oh no. So it was out of my control. Sidebar. While organizing my Toku stuff, and I saw some of my older videos from when I first started doing YouTube again, and in less than a year and a half, I've seen how much Toku stuff I bought. Mm-hmm. And I forgot on my little, banking app, I can organize by by websites like Amazon Japan and Toku Collectibles and stuff like that. And then I realized how much I've spent.
Oof.
And then someone else found out how much I spent.
Oof.
And she was like, "You could have bought a car," and I'm like, "I could have." But can a car henshin?
But a car can't henshin yet.
But the car won't fill the void in my heart.
Now, the only cool thing is, though, because of Tesla, you can put a thumb drive in and do the horn for any noise. Obviously, I would have had, absorb Queen every time I hung the horn.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, no, I was just like, I bought way too much Toku merch. And I was just like, but then I was thinking about maybe I should be negative. Maybe I should just, talk about stuff I hate. Because whenever someone does a negative video, it's like 12,000 views, this and that. Like, why I love this, 8 views and comments being like, "Oh, if you love it so much, why don't you marry it?"
Maybe we'll do a purge episode
because of international laws.
We'll have that. We'll have a purge episode where we just
dog on
pile
something
on everything that we just wanted to say, and just let it out. And that'll be our highest downloaded episode ever.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like was it controversy creates cash? Everyone likes negativity, and I'm like, really? I was like, that's why, like, you guys brought up Gem. Like, I love Gem and V. Like, I was like, yay, they're like, not just because they're positive, because like they only watch what they like and they create content what you like. Same with you guys create what you like. And I was like, yeah, that's all it is. Like, why?
That's all I want to do, honestly. Why would I want to sit here and spend 3 hours watching a video on something I hate for a video I've created and editing it? Yeah. I don't.
Like, legit, like we when we started, like, we thought like it was like, yeah, why don't we just defend our opinion on something and like be toxic about it? And we're like, well, why? Because we love this stuff. Like, it's not about just having an argument for the sake of an argument's sake, just because you want to say something's better than XYZ. And let's appreciate it and let's make it a thing. But I really think that it's healthy to do this once in a while, bro.
Once a month, you're just like,
I'm like,
get all the hatred out. It's like, We're gonna go on a 5-hour tangent if I have to hear Blade one more time.
I'm so ready.
And he dies.
So ready.
Like, he's been alive. Let me read that novel. He's been alive for 300 years. Yeah, he's dying.
No, I'll just buy the novel, right, Mark? I'll buy it, and then I'll just spend the hour just eating every page.
Dude, make sure you make that a Patreon exclusive. Like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a lot of pages. Like that.
That's some clicks right there.
You can get a paper cut. There's
some wasabi sauce on it. You know what I mean?
I'm a Sweet Baby Ray's fan myself, but.
Sweet Baby Ray's. Oh my goodness, Mark! Thank you so much for hanging out today, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
This has been Tokudon. Mark, do you want to shill your stuff? This is usually when we do that in the
shameless plug time, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm an ANerdNamedMark, like both in my handle and personal life, professionally. So I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast. Going on year 3 now of an ANerdNamedMark podcast where I talk about comics and video games, some Toku stuff because that's a niche audience, so I saved that for the YouTube. And yeah, so basically it's just an ANerdNamedMark. I got really original and was like, oh yeah, let me brand everything this, because before I had like 12 different brands. I was like, I need a uniform. I still own like 3 IP, like actual trademarks, so like
nice
names. I just don't do anything with them because I'm like, do I pay for website hosting? I was like, I own the domains. I have the actual trademarks. I did paperwork, but yeah. So I do a lot. Like, I'm trying to branch out of the reaction review stuff because that kind of got me to the table. That got me to the party. But now I'm just like, oh, you guys subscribed. You're in hell now.
Welcome to my brain.
It's like Freddy Krueger. You're my nightmare now, Nancy.
My nightmare.
Like, yeah, because it's just like, so I've been getting more into like pop culture stuff, just opinions, because as you guys know, everyone has opinions, but not everyone can. Like, we politely talked about Eternals being bad, but everyone else likes to throw around the keywords to it. And I'm like, no, let me explain to you eloquently as a comic book collector of 30 years with a collection of over 8,000 comic books. Let me eloquently tell you what was wrong with this and why it didn't work. And I won't use certain keywords for the algorithm like woke or tokenism. I will not use those words.
We just got 12 new views because of that. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, welcome to the party.
But no, it's the evolution of my content, because so many people are doing, like we said, the negativity. It's like, no, there's a way to properly portray your opinion and your thoughts and present facts without crapping on other people, without trying to single anyone out or a certain group or demographic. Because let's face it, comic books have changed. As Disney Plus and all the Marvel movies, like, and Spider-Man, we've seen this massive audience now, and I'm like, oh, let me bring you all to the learning tree. Right? Let me sit you down and hand you the
slide into those
knowledge.
DMs, as the kids say.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, don't do that. Just get them to watch the channel.
I already have people, literally, I still have people DMing me, be like, oh, you buy a lot of merch. Are you doing giveaways? I'm like, when I do one, I'll say it.
Watch my stuff.
Like, yeah, but why do you buy all this stuff and sometimes you buy duplicates? I'm like, sometimes I hit 2 by mistake when adding to cart. Or sometimes I'll order something and forget I pre-ordered it.
This is not about my false judgment.
It's like some things need to be mint on card.
Oh my goodness.
But I still want to play with them.
Yep. Oh.
But yeah, no, that's it. It's a ANerdNamedMark for everything. And yeah.
Rob, shill it away.
Marcus, thanks for coming on. I'm Rob. You can find me at 6echoes.se@gmail.com. Hit me up if you want to touch base about the current project that we're writing. It's coming up for our 50th episode. Got a nice little script coming on. I definitely need some voice actors. I need some input on the plot itself. Anybody who's interested, hit me up there.
Yeah. I'm Carl. You guys know where to find me at this point. You're probably watching this on the channel that we do it on. It's twitch.tv/KaijuCarl. And you can follow me at KaijuCarl and all the other social media things. I do stuff and do other things. I also have an article coming out soon, so I will post about that as soon as it goes live. So,
yes.
Yeah. Check it. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thanks for coming.